News Media Station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 6. Good evening, everyone. I'm Scott Lynn. Late afternoon, White House key discussions over that big, beautiful bill with optimism still in the air. But why did House Speaker Mike Johnson and Republican holdouts see the president?
There's a risk of Republicans sinking the president's big, beautiful bill. If the GOP had the votes, they would not call in the president. Conservatives are upset that the GOP brass cut a deal over SALT. That's the tax break for high tax states. The White House fired a warning shot toward those who might cross President Trump. The White House says the president wants this bill, adding, quote, failure to pass this bill would be the ultimate betrayal. Some conservatives are not happy, but they will not blow up the bill. It's about the math. The GOP can only lose 3 votes and still pass the bill. Democrats say if the bill fails, it's on Republicans.
Fox's Chad Pergram at this hour. Comments from House Speaker Mike Johnson following that meeting.
The plan is to move forward as we expected. That was a very productive meeting at the White House. It's great to have a president that is so directly engaged with what happens in the other branch of government over here in the legislative branch. There was a collection of leaders from the House, and most of them Freedom Caucus leaders, and we had a good discussion. I think we're in a very good place.
Northern Virginia Congressman Jerry Connolly, after a battle with esophageal cancer, has passed away. He was 75. Virginia Attorney General Jason Miyares says Fairfax County Public Schools are violating the state's Human Rights Act and the Federal Civil Rights Act of 1964
by discriminating against Asian American students in the admissions process at the Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology, commonly known as TJ.
Miyares says the Fairfax County School Board overhauled the school's admission policy.
Their stated goal was to rebalance the racial makeup of the student body so they would, quote, better represent the demographics of Northern Virginia.
But Miyares says the school board changed that admissions policy with the quote-unquote specific purpose of diminishing the number of Asian American students at the Technology High School. Miyares says he's referring the matter to the U.S. Department of Education and the Justice Department. The impact of Governor Wes Moore's decision to veto a bill that would have ordered the study of reparations is being felt outside of Maryland.
Moore's veto has prompted a Democratic lawmaker in South Carolina to call on his state party's leaders to rescind an invitation for Moore to speak at a major fundraising dinner in the Palmetto State next week. State Rep. John Richard Christopher King called Moore's veto, quote, a painful dismissal of the ongoing struggle for justice that Black Americans continue to face. He goes on to say the optics of Moore's action are frankly painful. The head of the South Carolina Democrats, on the other hand, says the party is honored to host Moore, who is the nation's only Black governor. John Matthews on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Checking your money, Dow was down 816, NASDAQ down 270. Traffic and weather next on News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Right now, hundreds of Texas children diagnosed with critical illnesses are waiting for their wish to come true. Children like Clara, who wants to build...
Now what? Around-the-clock updates and uncommon understanding.
Listen to this, because this stuff is going on behind the scenes and you don't know about it.
News Talk 105.9. Making sense of the news.
No Contest Wrestling. O'Shea Jackson Jr. and TJ Jefferson with the biggest names in the game.
Ricky Saints is in the house, everybody. NXT North American Champion, baby.
How you feeling right now, man?
I feel great.
Jay Uso. What's going on, man?
A lot of heavy days, but it's okay, man. It's part of the game.
They know who they are, bro.
You know who I am. Can you tell them where to find it?
I mean, why else are we here?
You can always find us No Contest Wrestling. Check us out.
The No Contest Wrestling Podcast, part of the Rich Eisen Podcast Network. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
This is my new best friend, Esther. She might look like any normal, playful puppy, but Esther's being raised to become a canine companions for independence assistance dog for a person with a disability. To get there, she needs lots of loving care and attention, plenty of exercise, and good eating habits so that she can live a long and healthy life for her future family. Visit cci.org or call 1-800-572-BARK. Raise a puppy, change a life. You can make a world of difference in the life of a person with a disability.
At 6:05, here's the latest from the Heavy Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
There's still an accident on 95 southbound at 610 Garrisonville, Acquia, exit 143 in Stafford County. 2 left lanes remain blocked and traffic is jammed from Dumfries Road. Also slow southbound from Springfield towards Woodbridge. Northbound a bit slow from Garrisonville, Acquia in towards Woodbridge and Lorton. And there is an accident now reported in Prince William County, northbound on Virginia 234, the Prince William Parkway between Balls Ford Road and 66. 2 lanes are blocked, and traffic is very slow from Sudley Manor Drive. You will find delays right now traveling on 66 heading westbound from the Beltway to 123 and from the Fairfax County Parkway towards Business 234. Now from GarageBreakCare.com, the WMAL Store Watch 7 forecast.
Overcast tonight, scattered showers, areas of patchy fog, lows 53 to 59 degrees. Thursday, mostly cloudy, scattered showers yet again, possibility of some storms. Highs in the mid-60s. For your Friday, partly sunny, highs reaching 65 to 70 degrees. Right now, Reagan National 57 and cloudy. Scott Lynn on News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app.
Mark Levin.
Deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker, somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with our leader, Mark Levin.
Get. Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Our number, 877-381-3811, 877-381-3811. Oh, boy, I've got so much to do. So little time to do it. It's a 3-hour show that really ought to be a 5-hour show, although I don't think I could hold out that long. Something called dinner always calls every night. I don't know what the hell that's about. We're going to have our buddy Stephen A. Smith on an hour, too. But, wow. Did you see this, Mr. Producer? About Letitia? Oh, my goodness. Letitia is saying, well, wait a minute. We have this on audio, don't we, Mr. Producer? Letitia James says, look, I made a mistake putting Virginia down as my residence. She's a liar. She didn't make a mistake. Why would you put Virginia down as your residence when your residence is New York? And you need to be ultra careful about that. And that's not just the only lie. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. If you pulled that, you wouldn't get away with it. There's absolutely no way. It was a mistake. And year after year, she took the deduction because it was a mistake. Uh-huh. Well, no mistake as far as I'm concerned. Cut one, go.
As you know, we filed a lawsuit against Donald Trump and his family. We secured $454 million.
Yeah, we have the fraudulent judge, the fraudulent case. There was no fraud. Used a statute that was never used in the history of New York. Yeah, we know all about it. Go ahead. I remember saying, and then she's applauded for making comments like this. Applauded. The New York Post got this audio, by the way. Go ahead.
When that case will be decided, this investigation into me is nothing more than retribution. It's baseless.
Well, it's not baseless, and it's not Trump. There's agencies that look into these things, and they referred it to the Department of Justice. I mean, like the first week he came into office or thereabouts. And it's not baseless. In fact, it should be a slam dunk. You said your main residence is in Virginia. It's not. You said you bought a property with your husband. You named your father. There was a 5-apartment unit, and in order to get a preferential rate on your mortgage, you said it was a 4-apartment. Now, the apartment had 4 units when it had 5. Those aren't mistakes. That's called a pattern. That's a pattern. Go ahead.
Fact that on a power of attorney, I mistakenly indicated that I was a state of Virginia, and prior to that, I had indicated to the mortgage broker that in fact, in bold cap letters, that I am not a resident of Virginia and never will be.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you previously told a mortgage broker in bold capital letters that I'm not a resident and never will be. The fact is that subsequent to that, you said you were. Go ahead.
The application, I indicated that I would not live in Virginia and I was not a resident. They just took the power of attorney and they're using that as a basis for.
Ladies and gentlemen, a power of attorney is not a joke. Being a trustee is not a joke. Being an executor isn't a joke, or whatever it is. These are legal documents. You sign them under penalty of perjury, and they have legal implications. It's that simple. She's supposed to be a lawyer, supposed to be the top law enforcement officer of the state of New York. You don't get to make mistakes like this. Donald Trump, she brags about that case. Donald Trump did everything by the book. All the lenders said that he not only paid, he paid on time. They all said that the estimated value that he placed on his properties were checked by their own people. Because you're talking about a lot of money. No, Mar-a-Lago isn't worth $16 billion. It's worth, ladies and gentlemen, it could be $1 billion. That property is massive. It's like 20 some acres. It's right on the Atlantic Ocean in West Palm Beach, Florida. So it's not worth 16 or 18 million. That's preposterous. But they did everything they could to take him down in that case. It's just another one of those cases where they give due process to murderers, rapists, Venezuelan gang members, wife beaters, MS-13 types, but not Donald Trump. He didn't get due process in New York for the civil or the criminal case, period. But that's neither here nor there. It's not a defense in court. It's not a defense to an investigation to say, well, Donald Trump has nothing to do with it. Power of attorney. She just confessed, by the way. She's such an idiot. She just confessed that she did it. Her attorney would advise her to keep her big fat mouth shut, but she's incapable of it. Power of attorney was never used to determine my eligibility for a mortgage for my niece or a home in the state of Virginia. So she says. And so she's on the run, so to speak, on the waddle, I guess. And the fact of the matter is she's got a lot to answer for, and more than just this. I just named off the top of my head 3 or 4 of the instances in which she committed allegedly tax fraud. That's what it is, and mortgage fraud. These are serious felonies. They're real felonies. They've been charged, and people are going to prison for these things, unlike what she charged Donald Trump with, some bogus fraud statute never ever used, and used against him in front of a judge. There was no jury trial, who not only is a lunatic, a moron, by the way, but obviously a partisan, terrible partisan. I want to play something to you, and it's actually going to be the first time I listened to it. I saw it on Newsbusters, but it piqued my curiosity. I mentioned we're going to have our friend Stephen A. Smith on the program, but not about this. I'm not talking about other things. This isn't his burden to carry. But Ryan Clark, I've noticed Ryan Clark was a very good football player, very articulate gentleman, surely knows the sports. But there always seems to be an instance to me, and I don't watch it all the time. I catch it here and there, but every time I seem to catch it, he brings up some racial element of something. Don't ask me to tell you what it is. I don't even remember. It goes in one ear and out the other. In fact, most of this race stuff with me goes in one ear and out the other, particularly when we're talking about sports. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Anyway, I want you to listen to Caitlin Clark. There's two of the greatest players. There are other great players in women's basketball. Is Clark and Reese. Angel Reese. Apparently they don't like each other. And I saw the video where Clark fouled Reese. And you have these intentional fouls. and some of them are rougher than others. Look, I grew up in Philadelphia. I used to go to the 76ers games. Back then, you could walk up the court side. People didn't bother you. People actually were very, well, they behaved themselves. It didn't mean they weren't loud. I was loud and so forth. But you didn't call people names. You didn't mock the players. You know, you weren't looking for trouble. You were having a wonderful time. And the players would come up to courtside, and I was a young guy. As I say, I went many times to the Spectrum. And, I mean, Wilt Chamberlain back then, he would sign it. Hal Greer, all these guys, Wally Jones, Chet Walker, Bill Cunningham. I really admired and looked up these players, and they were massive. You know, I'm a kid. I'm like, holy mackerel. Everyone's bigger than the next. But just nice people. And you were nice to them. Because that's how you were raised, not to be an a-hole. Now, they didn't earn the money that they earn today, but they were wealthier than most, but not crazy wealthy. I remember that Wilt Chamberlain left the Sixers. He went to the Lakers, which was a heartbreak for those of us who were in Philadelphia. But they were going to pay him, or did pay him, I think, $350,000, maybe $250,000, something like that. That was massive at the time. In fact, even when I was a young man, maybe 18, 19, 20, I remember the Philadelphia Phillies, they paid, they were paying, at the time, would seem like a ton of money. But it wasn't a ton of money. Steve Carlton, folks like that. I think he had a multi-year contract for $3.5 million. One of the greatest pitchers ever. But today, it's hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't begrudge it. I'm just explaining it's a different attitude. In fact, I went to a card show a couple of months ago with my grandson, our grandson and our daughter. And there I see guys I used to watch play football and baseball. They're signing, helmets. They're signing bats. They're signing this. They're signing that. I think it's $100 and some. They split it with the vendor. Thought to myself, my God, you were just one generation too late. These guys. Mean Joe Green was there. And by the way, he's mean. But there were others there too, and who were actually quite nice. And so, good Lord, here they are signing because they don't, they didn't make the money that these guys make today. But in any event, coming full circle, here's Ryan Clark. He's an ESPN analyst, Hack Tech Newsbusters. I'm going to listen to this without interruption with you for the first time, and I'm going to give you my take on this because this is creating quite a stir out there. Cut 20, go.
Caitlin Clark is the most important player in the WNBA.
Now, for those of you who don't know, and many of you don't, Caitlin Clark is white. To me, none of this matters, but apparently it matters to everybody else. And Angel Reese is black. Okay? Let's start over. Go.
Caitlin Clark is the most important player in the WNBA. And a ton of her fandom has come along with some racial bias or some racial pieces to why people love her so much. And so now if you're RG3, so you've had a conversation, you haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white people. You haven't had opportunities to have those conversations to educate you on what they're feeling, what they're seeing when they think of a young Angel Reese. And the whole time that he's mimicking Angel Reese and bobbing his head and moving his neck while he's doing this whole piece, his wife is in the back amening and clapping. And so to me, it's just another situation that now this young lady has to deal with. When I worked with RG3, he would make all of these sort of corny jokes about milk and how much he loved it and how important it was. And he always points out on social media the color of his wife's skin, as if the color of her skin is what makes her special, as if the color of her skin is what makes her.
You know what? I've heard enough already. Why are you attacking the guy's wife? Okay, she's white. I got it. Barkley's wife is white. You know, we celebrate the fact in this country that we have really a significant number these days of interracial marriages. I don't understand this attack. What's he trying to say? That RG3, he grew up a black man. He was a black child. He grew up in a black family. You telling me he doesn't understand the culture? Of course he understands the culture. Maybe he just doesn't like or care for Angel Reese. I have no idea. But I would never bring up somebody's wife, ever. I never have. I've been doing this almost 25 years. Unless the wife wants to be a public person, unless the wife is in politics, unless the wife says a bunch of stuff out there that is really, trying to draw attention or something like that, like Dr. Joe Biden. But RG3's wife, it's his second wife, his second white wife. To me, these are blatantly racist comments. They absolutely are. If you want to take it up with RG3, take it up. If you have a disagreement with him, take it up. If you don't like what he said about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, then take it up on the merits, on the substance. But don't insinuate that black man doesn't know what it's like to be a black man. I'm just being honest. I'd say the same about a Jewish person or a Christian or this or that. Doesn't matter. You're taking a lot of latitude when you start criticizing somebody for who they married. A lot of latitude, and not on the substance of who they married, but on their skin color. This disgusts me. I don't know Ryan Clark. I don't know any of these guys, but it disgusts me. You got something to say it. But not about his wife or her race. And as a matter of fact, not about him and that he married a white woman. So what if he married a white woman? I thought we were supposed to celebrate these things. I don't know anything about Ryan Clark's wife. Maybe he's had more than one. Nor should I. Who cares? It's not a public person. He's the public person. So if RG3 said something that's offensive or offensive to him, then deal with it like a man. But don't go after the guy's wife and his marriages because they're white or they're Asian or whatever the hell they are. It doesn't matter. Or go after a white athlete because his wife is black. Conversely. This, I don't dig. This, I don't like. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
If you're considering a 1031 exchange or need steady high-yield monthly income, you should consider student housing and low-stabilized, low-income housing with Icon America. Cash flow starting at 7.5% paid monthly. Icon Student Housing has 2 new properties in 2 of the hottest markets, Salt Lake City near the University of Utah and Purdue University, both 100% occupied. Icon America Low-Income Housing has properties diversified across Florida, Maryland, Georgia, Ohio, and more. Cash flow starts at 7.5%. Icon offers arguably the lowest fees in the industry by cutting out the high broker dealer commissions, passing the savings directly to you. Call 800-580-1031. Keep your money working for you by sheltering 100% from taxes. Visit icon1031.com or call 800-580-1031. 800-580-1031. 800-580-1031.
Investments involve risk. Results vary. Consult with your financial and tax professionals.
Couple of accidents on 95. One is southbound at the Franconia Springfield Parkway, blocking the left center lane. Traffic is jammed from the Beltway, and delays continue south from Lorton towards Woodbridge. Southbound at Garrisonville, quiet. That accident still in the 2 left lanes, and traffic is very slow from Dumfries Road. Also, you will find accident activity right now on the outer loop of the Beltway after Old Georgetown Road, and that is causing delays from 355. In Manassas, still the crash on the northbound Prince William Parkway between Ballsford Road and 66. 2 lanes are blocked. Traffic jams up from Sudley Manor Drive. Now from GarageRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Overcast tonight, scattered showers, mid-50s. Tomorrow, cloudy, scattered showers and storms, mid-60s.
My baby brother, a father. Come on, it's time for his nap. Whoa, he can't sleep on his stomach. Babies should always sleep on their backs in a safety-approved crib, and the sleep area should be clear of blankets, toys, and other loose or soft items. It reduces the risk of SIDS.
SIDS?
You know, sudden infant death syndrome.
Guess I need to start studying up on safe sleep for little man here. Being his favorite uncle comes with big responsibilities.
For more information, visit safetosleep.nichd.nih.gov. Sponsored by the Eunice Kennedy Shriver National Institute of Child Health and Human Development.
The Cumulus Podcast Network is pile driving the competition.
I'm parked right next to the TV truck, and it's just Steve Austin's head looking at me. Taking pictures, sent it to Steve. He hit me back with a WTF, kid.
What the fuck?
Hi, I'm Vince Callahan, host of The Vince Show and Vince Podcast.
is a show with an obsessive focus on what's good for America. I'll give you the truth beneath the headlines of all of the nation's top stories. The Vin Show is redefining news talk with in-depth interviews, live caller interactions, and a front row seat to the most important conversations of the day every day.
It's fucking ignorant.
WMAL's Vince Colonnese, weekdays at noon. News Talk 105.9. WMAL, making sense of the news.
Every time I feel my baby kick, I sing. You don't understand. I never sing. I'm not good at singing. I'm the only person I know who's been booed off a karaoke stage. But that was before I was pregnant. Today, I'm a singer with a captive audience of one. She doesn't boo me. She never will. We know how it feels. We're the March of Dimes. Find out how we can help you have a healthier baby at marchofdimesbaby.org.
School absences are often due to the absence of necessary resources. But when Communities in Schools is present, students are connected to the support they need to show up ready to learn. Visit communitiesinschools.org. Being present matters.
What would you give for a child you loved? To make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. You see, wishes are so powerful, and you can make them real. You can give a child back their childhood, even change the way they feel. Every single one of us can make the stars align. Because when we come together, hope and joy will shine. Wishes need stars like you. Visit Make-A-Wish@wish.org.
Making sense of your world on the go. Stream your favorite shows, get the day's top headlines, and access our podcast archives, all with the new WMAL app. This is for you. Get the WMAL app on Google Play or the Apple App Store and stay connected.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell them loud and clear. Look for signs. Face drooping. A. Arm weakness. Speech difficulty. T. Time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with all service members and their families. Are you with them?
Tarot Destroyer.
USO.org today.
Zenny knows she's welcome on my panel. I'm not going to be mean to her. I'm not going to be mean to Wolfie or anybody. I'm not like that. I don't really care what you think of me anyways. Let me read your comment.
I want to play for you. As I was digging around this morning, this afternoon, late last night, 4 a.m.
Oh, Robert McNamara isn't here no more.
Angelo Caruso.
He's gone. Long gone.
In my view, he is a gay basher, even though he's gay. He's a Jew basher. He has in the past, certainly. But most of all, he's a thug. He runs Media Matters, which is, in my view, a complete farce, even though it has a tax exempt.
Commercial break.
So on June 12, 2024, 2 weeks before the Biden-Trump debate on MSNBC, he reacts to recent reporting that Biden is showing signs of a hindered decline. We want to give a hat tip to Maze again. We don't know who Maze is, but we love him or her. M-A-Z-E, Maze on X. We'll be right back. You know, most of us go to bed not thinking about what goes bump in the night. We climb into the bed.
Population issue.
Relative safety. Not so with the people of Israel. They face nonstop threats on 7 different fronts. They do have a red alert system to warn of incoming attacks. And last month, red alert blared nearly 50 times every single day. Can't imagine it. And right now, Israeli first responders face an urgent need. Life-saving supplies are running low. That's why the work of our friends at the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews is so critical. Your tax-deductible gift, $50, $100, $150 will help the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews provide first responders with helmets, blackjack.
I'm going to put my 2 cents in where it concerns Empress Chinchilla. JT, you've been had. The motherfuckers trolled you to death. In the plural, in the singular. Hey, you think you're so fucking smart. You're not all that smart. Chinchilla is better on the computer than you are, JT. I've seen him do it. He goes to great strides to do things. He's taught himself well on the computer. That's what it's all about. JT. You needed Gotti's help. You needed Rusty's help. You needed my help. You came to my chat just, to get noticed. Daughter of Truth said it all. I was surprised she come here. That sounded genuine to me, that you guys really got to Rain. Yep. Wiggin gets mad when I get ahead of him in the game. You're always wrong, Billy. Oh, if I know it's going to piss you off, I'll do it. I'm the best at that, actually, and I don't even try. Can you imagine if I tried to piss these fuckers off? I could troll fucking Logical hot and heavy if I wanted to. What's the sense? He's an imbecile. He doesn't dare come up here. He doesn't. He does not dare come up here. Some of the old guards been up here. Gotti, Wiggin, Chinchilla. Sorry, LD. You're a fucktard. And people who favored LD promoted that dumb fucker, but he ended up pissing on that woman's jacket. What a fucktard. And when I learned about that, I thought to what if that was my sister or my daughter or something like that? LD, I'd fucking stuff you somewhere so fast. Fucking punk.
Someone is diagnosed with cancer.
So that's the bottom line. You lost, JT. And Chilla, he fucked you up all kinds of ways. Unless you guys are in it together. Which I don't know. You guys fight amongst yourselves pretty good.
Mental health care works when you make the call. Visit mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Rain out of the blue. Oh, my parents are dead. Wanting me to believe that, so she can garner my sympathy. That's a bad thing to do. At first I was kind of impressed with you a little bit, Rain. New person, I gave you the benefit of the doubt, but you stabbed me in the back. Yeah, you completely stabbed me in the back, Rain. Yeah, you want to fight because you're friends with Wolfie and you're friends with Rusty, whatever the deal with Zenny and Rusty or Zenny and Wolfie is, it's mixed messages, and then Wolfie's in Will Durant's chat. I got her phone number. And you got fucking Patrick New York trying to stir fucking shit. You ain't half the chef I am, Patrick. Right here, green onions. All right. They ended my stream the other night because in one of his guitar dances, Frank Zappa plays this. Boom, 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 da, da, da. This is a song that was in American Graffiti.
Not going to work as hard as I can. On top of everything else that I do with the Republicans in the House.
The log licker is pretty mad.
to take back the courts through legislation. All these lower courts are created by Congress. Congress can take jurisdictions away from them. Congress can abolish the judgeships themselves, and something's got to be done or we're going to lose this country. We're going to lose this country. This is all unconstitutional.
Yeah, Patrick, it's your grandkids' country.
Substituting their decisions. I don't care what Roberts says.
I could be dead tonight, age 63.
Stuff they do and more. And what's going on here is an absolute constitutional.
Trying to hang in there.
It's disgusting.
They keep.
It's trashing Republicans.
They're cutting him off.
But he's supposed to be bipartisan, nonpartisan, in order to get that tax status for 501c3. But he's not. So here it is, 2 weeks before the debate. We, the American people, we see who Joe Biden is. We know who Joe Biden is. We know it's a disaster. And so this is the discussion he has on MSNBC. Cut 10, go.
So a couple of things. One, I agree the media is not fair. We should accept that, and we shouldn't hand-wring. I do think, that, as you noted in your monologue, what Sinclair is doing is particularly insidious, and that will be resolved by Joe Biden being out there more often, because you have sort of a right-wing propaganda operation that is willing to go even further than Fox News. That they've done that in the past. And they're doing it under the imprimatur of a lot of banners, trusted sources, CBS, NBC, ABC, and that then gets into the bigger thing of how do you deal with a guy like Donald Trump. And my honest hunch is that most of the media, most of the reporters and people talking about him, covering him, have not watched the full speech in years. And the reason it's significant is because they see just how much he's declined. If we're going to cover this honestly, we want people covering it to actually force themselves to sit through a full speech, just to get a sense of how much it changed. The downstream effects of that is you would not see as much handling in the mainstream media and mainstream reporting about the discrepancies between Joe Biden and Donald Trump's, mental acuity once somebody actually saw what the current state of Donald Trump really is. Not the few snippets of him yelling as he's walking into a room or a courtroom, but actually how he speaks for a full hour. And I think what Donnie said earlier is exactly on point. That debate could be a real pivot point. This is going to actually force a lot of people that actually have not tuned in for a long time, even though they should be, to just get a sense of just how bad it's actually gotten.
So there you have it. So in order to determine if Joe Biden has his wits, we have to determine if Donald Trump has his wits. Donald Trump has been more accessible than any president in my lifetime, period. Short snippets, long speeches, 1 hour speeches that turn to 2.5 hour speeches, whether they're at CPAC, whether they're at national rallies, whether it's taking on the press, on and on and on. We've never seen a president so engaged in public communication, period. Nobody. Some people might say even too much. Not me, but I'm just making the point. He is available. He's on talk radio. He's on podcasts. He's on cable TV. He's on network TV. Joe Biden was hiding. He's reading from note cards, which is okay. But you don't read note cards the way Joe Biden does. He got confused. He was reading, directions on the cards and so forth and so on. We all saw it. So this guy, Angelo Caruso, president of Media Matters, aka Media Doesn't Matter in their case, 2 weeks before the debate, this is where this guy's head was. Bobbing and weaving and distracting, dissembling, MSNBC, the whole crowd. This is who they were. Now, I haven't taken the time, because I don't have the time to look at Mediaite and all the things they were saying about Biden up to the debate, all the attacks on Fox and me and others and so forth and so on, to the extent they existed. I haven't taken time to go through that to see how they were covering the Biden fiasco. Maybe one of these days, if I get my ire up enough, maybe we will. But for now, I don't want to waste my time. So I just wanted to point that out. So this guy will forever be a fraud and a phony and a fool, forever. And part of the cover-up of the Joe Biden disaster, one of the greatest cover-up, the biggest cover-up in American history. Then we have John, Leibowitz, Mr. Producer? Then we have John Leibowitz Stewart, who changed his name because, he didn't like his father. Had nothing to do with the fact that he was Jewish. No. John Leibowitz, we'll call you by your regular name, whether you like your father or not. Anyway, he's going off on Jake Tapper. Oh, he's going off Jake Tapper. They keep pushing his book on CNN. I agree with that. They shouldn't be pushing his book on CNN, not because it's his book, not because books shouldn't sell, but because Tapper's a fraud. He was part of the cover-up. But I don't remember John Leibowitz. Maybe he wasn't on TV at the time. Maybe he was out there making his tens of millions as a director. So they say. I don't know what the hell he directed. I'm sure it was fantastic. But in any event, I don't remember John Leibowitz taking to a microphone, upset about Biden's mental capacity or anything of the sort. Now, we can go back and look at that, too. All these people are phonies. Every damn one of them. All of them in entertainment, except for a few exceptions. All of them in the media, except for maybe 2 exceptions. Just absolute frauds and phonies. Look, I don't want to beat a dead horse here. We covered it heavily yesterday, and talk shows and TV shows that have nothing else to do, they'll keep talking about it for the next 48 years. But I did my part, and at least if there's something else that comes up, I will definitely seize on it. And I mean seize.
Yeah, it went deep.
One of the greatest disgraces in American history. Absolutely is. We don't have any new information related to it. But one of the greatest disgraces in American history, and they do need to get to the bottom of it. With the Attorney General, the White House Counsel, the Chief of Staff, all of them. The cabinet members, all of them. They do need to get to the bottom of it. Elon Musk is at the Qatar Economic Forum yesterday. Now, I don't know if he was physically there, if he was there by, it was by Zoom, yeah. So the first thing I say to myself, the Qatar Economic Forum, and I looked at the people who attended. Some of them are our friends. Some of them are our enemies. Some of them are in business. Just a massive who's who of international notoriety. Qatar. Qatar that funded the slaughter on October 7th. Qatar that funded Hamas, that raped, burned babies alive, decapitated people. That Qatar that housed the leadership of Hamas and protected the former leaders of the Taliban. Qatar that protected KSM, the mastermind behind 9/11, tipped him off, gave him a phony passport so he could escape without the FBI grabbing him the day before. Qatar that is spending billions and billions in the United States. They've destroyed our Ivy League schools. They've already destroyed them. Colombia, another disaster taking place at their graduation ceremonies. The Marxists and the Islamists, absolutely out of control. And we have people, including Republicans, and, top business leaders who go to Qatar for a phony economic forum, the Qatar Economic Forum. And this is how Qatar plays both sides. What I haven't told you about Qatar, and what I should, it's a slave state. They have 300,000 citizens in Qatar. So they have to import hundreds of thousands of laborers. And they import them from some of the poorest countries in the world. And once they come to Qatar, they are abused. They have absolutely no rights. Many of the women are sold into slavery.
I might have to plug this in
Or they
pretty
become
soon.
quote unquote maids to wealthy people. Too many of them die from heat exhaustion, starvation. It's a real hellhole unless you're part of the elite in Qatar. And so you have people who are running to the Qatar Economic Forum. Now they can't even use foreign policy and national security as an excuse. And guess what media organization is one of the organizations that is partnering with Qatar? Bloomberg. I guess he doesn't have enough money. 50 billion is not enough. But Bloomberg. Our friend Elon Musk participated by Zoom. And there are others. The list is there. I posted it. I posted the site. So you can go look them all up yourself. I didn't have time to, but they're there. The Qatar Economic Summit. Are you kidding me? Our foreign policy must be based on many things. And one of the things it needs to be based on is shared values, beliefs, and principles. Now, there are a lot of enemies out there that we have to deal with who do not share our belief systems, our values. Many of them are incredibly evil. During World War II, we had to deal with the Soviet Union in order to defeat Hitler. I get it. But when our backs are not against the wall, when we are not in a state of war, where we don't need a country or a government like that in order to defeat a grave enemy. In my humble opinion, look, I've said it on radio, on TV, on Blaze, I've said it to the president, I've said it to Democrats, I've said it. We ought not be playing footsie with these people. They're dangerous. They've already killed a whole bunch of Americans. Biden played footsie with them. Biden's the one who extended their military base for 10 years. Biden's the one who made them the mediator between Israel and Hamas. For God's sakes, they are Hamas. Biden did that. Biden funded Iran to the tune of $100 billion. Biden did that. And so while people can have a disagreement with President Trump, Biden laid the foundation for Iran, for Qatar, all this stuff. And I don't mean in a positive economic way. He empowered them. And look what Donald Trump's doing to try and fight anti-Semitism in this country. We've never seen anything like it in our lives. The anti-Semitism and the battle against it. It is a real all-government war against anti-Semitism. Biden had nothing. It was all for show. It was a fan dance of the worst kind. So the same media that trashes Donald Trump, they sure as hell were silent when it came to Joe Biden. So they mean nothing to me. The mediocreites, the Drudge Reports, all these little entrails of the legacy media, they mean nothing to me. Zero. But for God's sakes, the Qatar Economic Forum, is this a joke? I'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
From bases abroad to communities here at home, the dedication of service members, veterans, and their families is felt across the globe, and so is our gratitude. For more than 75 years, University of Maryland Global Campus has supported the military community wherever it is. During National Military
Patrick,
Appreciation Month,
tell Doug not to come up here on the 5th of June. I won't be here.
With a heartfelt,
I got something I have to do on the 5th of June. I won't be home. If he still plans on coming up in June, which isn't that far away. Yeah, happy Memorial Day. It's coming up.
Southbound at Garrison to La Jolla. Moved to the left shoulder, but still someplace from Dumfries Road. Earlier accidents in Manassas.
Right now, my dad was still alive. I'm not sure about me. I probably would be with him. But my dad would be up in Canada right now fishing for brook trout. And we always bring back a pile of brook trout. Ain't been up there in years.
I never sing. I'm not good at singing.
I'd go up just once, Dom and Carrie at Huddersfield Fish and Game Lodge. I wonder if they're still doing it.
She doesn't do it. She never. We know how it feels. We're the March of Dimes. Find out how we can help you have a healthier baby at March of Dimes.
I could go out on the porch, but it's getting dark out. It's gonna fucking storm. You should see the clouds. It's just a ridge of it out my window. It's fucking raining. Way over there, it's raining.
For a local news source you can trust, visit WMAL.com.
Thank God for that.
Hit the day's top stories, stream your favorite WMAL shows, access our podcast archives, and more. WMAL.com, making sense of your world online.
School absences.
Tell Dougie to bring Logical with him so I can tie him to a tree. If I ever got my hands on you, Patrick Francis Callahan, do more than put staples in your feet. Fucking pansy ass motherfucker. I'll never forget your voice either, Patrick Francis Callahan. Patrick, New York, I hope you're not fucking logical. I hope you really are a different person.
Like other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment. If you are a loved
And if you are that fucking idiot, you owe me a fucking pound of pot. You made a fucking bet and you fucking squelched. I proved the earth is not flat. You know the earth is not flat. I did it with 3 words. You went fucking crazy. Latitude, longitude. First I said horizon. You went fuck. That's why he's doing what he's doing in Vegas chat. I'm not blocking your robots, Logical. They're no use. They're fucking useless. You better put on your thinking cap. Better put your arm up on the table. Get ready to fucking arm wrestle. I don't think you can put me down.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries. And when's the last time you checked your wireless bill?
Now, I have astigmatism.
When it comes to big wireless, if
So,
you're staying, you may be over-
in an eye exam about 5 years ago, they asked me, do you want bifocals or do you prefer to take your glasses off to read? I don't want bifocals. Fuck that.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Yeah, his name's Patrick Francis Callahan. He lives down by you in Newburgh. There's 2 Newburghs. There's the city of Newburgh, and then there's like a county or the town of Newburgh, a town of Newburgh. It's not a city.
Making sense of the news.
Because I actually did call the cops. I called his cops in Newburgh. Let them know what he was doing. He got a hold of my landline. And, I can't remember if he had my cell phone number. That one's easy to block. Landline, you can't. I was going to do it anyways. I figured, well, if they're going to spam my phone, because I know they fucking do that shit. They like to make prank phone calls. That's what they're all into. That Chris Cullen, all them fuckers, JC, they all think that's funny. They're into the prank calling shit.
And there was a big smile on my face. It's a lot of work to go through this, but I do what I do because I like what I do.
You know what, Patrick, New York? It's impossible for you to not know who Logical Fallacy is. It's impossible for you. That's just a plain out fucking lie. Right? That right there tells me that you are logical. Because it's impossible for you not to know who this person is. Now my screen's jumping.
Do people actually know what it means? Hillsdale College is offering more than 40
Commercial.
Free online courses. That's right. Free online courses. Learn about the United States Constitution, the stories of Genesis, the rise and fall of the Roman Republic, the ancient...
You're full of shit, Patrick, New York.
Learn about capitalism, understanding capitalism. You have 7 lectures within that course alone. The role of profit and loss, how human nature plays a role in our economic system, why capitalism depends on private property rights, the rule of law, and above all, freedom. Why capitalism is ultimately a system that encourages morality rather than undermines it. It's just great. These courses are just fantastic. Go right now to levinforhillsdale.com to enroll. That's Levin, Levin, Levin for Hillsdale.com. There's no cost. It's easy to get started. That's levinforhillsdale.com. Register for free. I know you're going to love it. And so as I'm going through the book, I go through it over and over and over again, just to make sure it's perfect.
I don't even know if I banned anybody. I think I unbanned everybody.
Across these phrases and these ideas.
Let me check.
That I'm going to share with you, and I'll do a little bit of that at the next hour, because there's not enough time. But it's on power.
This one says no banned guest.
It happens every
Nobody's
time
banned in my stream yard.
start talking about power. Now, they're passing, and our friends on the 5 will talk about it. Gutfeld will say, as we've been saying for 10 years. And I love that guy. And he won't come on the program, will he? We only ask once. Somebody doesn't answer, says no, we move along. I bring people on just so I can enjoy it and you can enjoy it. It's not a necessity. We love having Stephen A. on. Stephen A. brings something to the table. Number one, he's smart as hell. But number two, he's very interesting. I want to know his presidential campaign.
Stephen A. Smith of
I
ESPN.
want to know these things. And of course, he's like the Rain Man of sports, this guy. And by the way, that's not easy. There's a lot of smart people covering sports. You ever watch ESPN for a couple of hours? Many of you do. I don't, but I have, like, here and there. These guys are smart. They're smart. They're fighting. They're debating. I don't know how you do it over baseball. That's okay, but they're smart. They're giving you the stats, who defended what, in 1841. And so it's pretty sharp stuff. All right. We got a lot to do, and we're going to have a lot of fun. We'll be right back.
Making sense of your world.
I don't know where to begin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Thanks for taking my call.
Making sense of the news.
Imagine the hospital experience. There's a constant parade of serious doctors, countless tests, and a serious diagnosis. Scary surgeries.
Why is that blocked?
Painful recoveries. You're in the
The
hospital
fuck?
for days, weeks, months. Now imagine you're a child. This is why Starlight exists. Starlight programs help kids in the hospital cope, build resilience,
The fuck?
foster confidence.
What's that
and
doing
choose
that
life.
for?
Because happiness matters. Visit starlight.org.
That's
to
weird.
learn more.
Oh, well.
No Contest Wrestling. O'Shea Jackson Jr. and TJ Jefferson with the biggest names in the game.
Gremlins.
NXT North American Champion, baby. How you feeling right now, man? I feel great.
Jay Uso, what's going on, man? A lot of heavy days, but it's okay, man. It's part of the game.
They know who they are, bro.
And you know who I am. TJ, can you tell them where to find me?
Yeah. I mean, why else are we here?
You can always find us No Contest Wrestling. Check us out.
The No Contest Wrestling Podcast, part of the Rich Eisen Podcast Network. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
What would you give for a child you loved to make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. You see, wishes are so powerful, and you can make them real. You give a child back their childhood. You can change the way they feel. Every single one of us can make the stars align.
Gotti, I figured out the favor I want you to do for me.
Joy will shine. Wishes
Yep.
need stars like you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
You're going to like it. I finally decided. You owe me an avatar. I want you to make me an avatar.
Listen to this, would you? News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news. WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9.
Yeah, I'm not coming to Vegas to ask you. I'm not even looking at Vegas. I was earlier. I was in there. Right? They like my JT clone.
President Trump's meeting with Republican holdouts was productive and moved the ball in the right direction. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said.
Is this really JT, or are you going to try to porn bomb me? Huh?
I could have bombed you. Don't worry.
All right. Well, here, let me turn this down. That way I'm not talking over it. There you go.
What's going on with you? You fight with Jarl again?
No. You've been had.
I've been had.
You've been had.
I've been had.
Yes, you've been had.
How have I been had?
You don't know. You don't know when to admit defeat and fucking start over. You really don't.
Okay, Billy. So let's just say I'm taking your advice. What would you advise
I'm
me?
not offering you any advice. You came to my chat. Your girlfriend came to my chat. You guys started here. That's the truth. And you keep bending the truth. You're coy. You know what coy means?
I know what coy means, but do you?
What does it mean? Hold on. What does coy mean? If you're being coy, what does that mean you're doing?
You're pretending not to know something that you know.
Thank you.
Listen, you should
No.
remember.
Don't address me as you. You're not going to do that up here.
Then who are you?
Billy, no, you're not going to sit here and call me you for the next 5 minutes, 50 minutes, however long I let you stay up here.
Okay, Billy.
You will
Billy.
address me as Billy. Don't address me as you.
Yeah, Billy, you remember Rain had her stream first before you, right?
No.
No? You don't remember that?
No.
Could pull up the streams. I guarantee her first stream was before yours.
No, she wasn't.
Billy, how long have you been smoking, man? I smoke weed, but your fucking brain is fried. Like, how do you not remember?
Dad, you don't like it. Why are you here then?
Billy,
I thought you blocked spam. I'm just spam. Why don't you block? Why you even fucking come here if I'm nothing but spam?
Well, you can't spam on a fucking panel, can you?
Yeah, I can.
Billy.
I destroy panels. You know that, right?
Yeah, well, you're not going to.
Like JC's little fucking boy put me backstage. I went back up there a second time.
Oh, were you on?
I didn't attack JC. I went after Sebastian.
Oh, so she's protecting Sebastian, but not you.
So you know you've been had twice actually. You're being had by Wigan, and you've been had by Empress Chinchilla.
Oh, did you see when he answered the door for the prostitute?
I didn't watch.
Oh man, you missed it. I'll have to repost.
I didn't watch. So what? So let's do this. Let's say that prostitute, he did let that, and he engaged and had sex with that prostitute. You guys would be making fun of him for doing that.
No, I would actually be proud of him.
Wait. You're a doctor, right? Doctor of psychology?
Sure, Billy. Why not?
All right. Now, if Chinchilla would have actually had sex with a hooker, what would you guys be talking about right now?
I'd be proud of him.
You wouldn't be.
I would.
No,
yeah, I'm actually a little upset.
You guys would all be making fun of him fucking getting with a hooker and he's got AIDS. You'd carry it right on.
Well, he's not going to get AIDS. I mean, these girls.
How do you know that?
They're getting tested. I mean,
so why? Getting tested doesn't stop you from getting AIDS or something else.
Well,
chlamydia.
listen,
They like the word chlamydia out here. That pretty much sums it up.
Well, if he had gotten AIDS, that would have been a small price to pay for his virginity. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why everyone's acting so upset about this. He chose to go out there. You know, I'm a little upset.
Why do I care? What do you want from me?
Billy, what do you want?
I already have what I want. I have what I need. I'm doing what I'm fucking planned on doing when I started this shit. You're fucked big time.
Billy.
You are. You need me on your team. That's a fact.
Is that right?
Listen, your little girlfriend, Rusty, she's not the only chat historian out here. I don't need a whole bunch of fucking copy this and that and got right because I don't lie. And if I do lie, right, it's going to be too late before you realize it. And then the truth is good. It's already happened to you.
Okay, Billy. Hey, yeah, you know, I thought you remember when you spilled that olive martini on your.
Let me ask you this: why would you use my mother to troll me?
I told you
when she never been in chat. Just because I cloned you, you're fair game. I'm fair game out here. We're engaging in this. All right. So why would you, a stranger to Billy Hayden? You don't know. You didn't know me. Obviously, you got that picture from Randy and Rusty and all the fucking rest of them.
I got it off Google.
You did not get it off of Google.
Literally, it's a picture of Orville
You're not
Redenbaugh.
going to be caught. You're busted.
It came from Google.
You're completely busted. So everybody wants to know, did you and Chilla plan this? Or did Chinchilla really pull a fast one on you by doing what he did?
Wow. Those are the only two options there? Did you see him? Did you see him propose in the airport?
I only watched a little bit of it, and then I let you guys do your thing. I went live. No, I didn't watch every minute of it like you.
Wow. Yeah, no, Chinchilla really.
Now, if you would have pissed on Tessa's jacket, would you have watched that?
You know, Chinchilla really played me. So.
Yeah, you've been had by Chinchilla. I know
been
Chinchilla
had.
pretty well, and exactly what he said. He'd take Wiggins' word over your word any day, and there's a reason for that.
Wiggin? Mm-hmm. Well, he better side with Wiggin because
it has nothing to do with siding with somebody. See, that's your problem.
So he flies out to meet a catfish.
So what? I don't want to talk about Chinchilla. I'm going to talk about you.
Well, you brought him up, right?
I'm going to talk about you. I'm going to talk about you.
You want to talk about me?
Yeah. Now Chinchilla turns his camera on.
So I've been had, even though he flew out to.
Yes, you've been had, and that's gonna go viral through Wiggin.
It's gonna go viral.
And you know, I control shit around here. I hope you realize that.
I thought Wiggin controlled shit around here. Which is it?
He just did that to make you whimper.
So you're
really you're gonna react. You just can't help it.
So you're the one in control.
You're searching for that fame, but you need to go through him and me to get it.
Oh, okay.
You got to have me on your side. You got to have me saying you're a good guy.
Oh,
You're not
okay.
a good guy, right? Would you give your life for the country right now if you knew somebody was going to be capable of killing thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and you're going to lose your life trying to stop them? Would you do it?
Why not? Why wouldn't I do that?
Then why have you disparaged the military and talked shit?
When do I disparage the military? I love our veterans.
I'm not going to sit here and fucking answer your stupid question. What I'm saying is fact, okay? Yeah, okay.
Billy.
No, it ain't Billy. It's Billy, you're right. Yes, Billy, you're right. I was wrong. That's what you need to do.
So are you control Wiggin, or he controls you, or are you guys like a team?
We bounce off of each other. 1 minute we hate each other, and the next minute I'm buying the stupid fucker a beer. What's wrong with that? That's the American way, right?
America right there. Well, he would say that he controls you.
Now, how old are you? I want to know how old you are.
You want to know how old I am?
Yeah, I want to know. I have a right to know who you are, right? You just right now you're just a voice. I've never seen you on camera.
Is that your right to know?
Yes, it is my right. This is my chat, and I have a right to know who comes into my chat. Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was your right.
It is my right as a. Whether or not I pay for StreamYard, I'm not paying for StreamYard. I got it set up. Acid Trip wasn't fucking giving me any advice that I didn't already know. Right? He's new to the system. I'm the best fucking side chatter there's since JC opened her fucking StreamYard.
Why aren't you over there?
Because it's boring. It's useless to be over there. They play stupid computer games. JC plays favorites.
So you're not the favorite.
Yeah. Pardon me?
So you're not the favorite over there.
I never claimed to be the favorite over there.
Well, I saw Wigan was there the other day. Why not you?
So what? You kissed JC's ass. You went in there and you tried to crawl right up her crack. In fact, you did crawl up her crack.
JC doesn't like me.
Then why did you try to crawl up her crack?
When did I do that?
You busted. Been had by Chinchilla. And it's fucking funny. Chinchilla fucking had you.
Oh yeah, Chinchilla really had me.
Yeah, he bet you like you've never been bet before. There,
he flew out.
Do you like the clones I made of you? Oh, I'm famous here. You like the clones that I made of you?
I wouldn't see them because I blocked spam.
Bullshit. You still watch with another account. You see what goes on, so you still see it. You're full of shit.
Doesn't matter what account I'm on. You, Logical.
Well, Logical's in your camp.
You, Logical, Acid. Anybody spamming, blocked.
You're gonna put me in with Logical and Acid. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I am.
Perfect. You're an idiot. JT. I don't like you, JT. I didn't like it when your little woman lied to me about her parents being dead.
You didn't like that? Why not?
No, because it's fucking ignorant for somebody to do something. Laugh all you want. It's fucking ignorant.
Well, how
you're not going to get any quarter in this fucking chat.
Oh, it's a good thing I wasn't looking.
I'll tell you right now.
It's a good thing I wasn't looking. What if I'm lying about lying? What if I'm really telling the truth?
Your chat is about Rusty.
Blocking people's sign of weakness? No, it's a sign of having some goddamn
you better
common
pay
sense.
attention to Patrick New York because he does know everything. He can verify. If I'm lying, he'll put me on the spot.
Blocking? It's a way to clean up my screen. You know?
Yeah, very good troll. You don't know how to troll.
You're right. I'm not trolling because I'm not a troll.
Yeah, you're trolling, but you're not very good at it.
No, I'm really not trolling you.
Trolling is an action. Yes, you're trolling. Yeah, you are. Are your mom and dad, are they boomers?
No.
How old are your parents?
That's a need to know, and you're not on a need to know basis.
See, but you want everybody else's stuff. All right.
Well,
So I got a feeling. I wonder if your parents are close to my age. I wonder if they're 10 years younger than I am.
They're not as old as you are.
Really? So your grandparents would be boomers then, right?
They would be boomers, sure.
Yeah. And do you use that term as to be a derogatory term towards people? Like it's not good to be a boomer or something like that?
You know, it's a term of endearment, really.
Not the way you used it the other day when I seen you use that word.
How did I use it?
You fucked, JT. Empress Chinchilla bent you over like the bitch you are, JT. He really
yeah. I'm sure he really
you hung on his you hung on his every fucking move and everything. The thing with Tessa and St. Patrick knows what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, you guys were really clued in. I get him to fly out to Florida, but he's playing me. Makes a lot of sense.
I'll let the others decide that.
Yeah, you guys need to think for each other because God knows you're not going to do it yourself.
I don't think for Wigan. That's bullshit.
Well, he thinks for you. He actually thinks for you.
Well, he wants you to believe that.
No, he does think for you.
See, this is what you haven't learned yet, JT, about Wigan. If he thinks it'll piss you off, he'll do it. Just for that right there.
Well, I'm not the kind of person he probably wants to piss off.
Well, there you are. Okay. You're just not in our clique. Okay. You're not as knowledgeable as we are. Okay.
You're right. I'm not in your clique. That's very true.
I don't know. Do I have a clique? Yeah, my clique is this is Team America. You realize that, right?
Well, Billy, it's
You're not Team America. Why do you hate your own country? That's all I want to know, JT. Why do you what do you think about your peers serving in the military to protect your way of life? How do you like that? Huh? I'm sure. Is there anybody your age that you know that's went in the military, been in the military, maybe retired? You could be 40. I don't know how old you are.
I know people who've been in the military. Is that what you're asking?
No, I wasn't asking anything. I was just making a statement.
So, does anybody else come in here today, or is it just you?
Are you gonna try to trash my stream now? What do you think I stream for? Why do you think I stream?
I don't know who you're streaming for. I don't see anybody in.
I'm streaming for me, first and foremost.
You know, me neither.
Your chat would be about you, right? This is about what I like. And there are other people who like what I do.
I see one
So
person.
you're wrong when you post that everybody blocks me, nobody likes me, and on and on and on and on and on.
I mean, somebody probably likes you. I just don't know who they are.
Obviously, Wiggins, one of them. He doesn't want you to think we're swapping spit. You know, he's ready to throw down. Can you imagine if I tried to touch Alicia, what he would do?
Well, are you two?
You hear my question?
Are you two swapping spit behind the scenes?
No more than you and Gotti are.
Wow. So what you're trying to say is that you are.
I'm not trying to say anything. What I say is what I say, and you try to twist things. You take things out of text, and you put them in the wrong text. See, Patrick New York's laughing at you. Now, I've been accusing him of being logical fallacy. I don't really know. All right. I have an idea. It could be one of several people. I'm not going to sit here and list names.
I don't know who he is. I never really seen him. But he is right about that. I don't know very many of the people that speak good things about me either. So I guess we agree about that.
Well, I did it first. When you and your girlfriend come to my chat, I said good things about you.
What did you say that was good about me? I don't remember you ever saying.
Too late now. You've been ignoring me ever fucking since.
Oh, don't be like that.
Yeah, I am like, too bad. Go watch fucking reruns of Chinchilla fucking pretending he's masturbating underneath a blanket.
Oh,
he
shit.
set you up fucking.
Yeah, oh, yeah. He wasted a lot of money. He spent a lot of money setting me up, boy.
You fucking spent all your time watching him.
I was, the funny thing
You
is,
and your girlfriend. That's why Chinchilla, chinch, constantly, chinch. I don't remember seeing you when JC first started streaming. I don't remember seeing you and JujuBot and Gramps in the CNN chat when they rerun the news and all that shit. Those days are done and over with.
Yeah,
I remember seeing you in Pines and Palms and Salisbury chat and Fox 46. There's been 2 or 3 Vegas chats. There's been 2 or 3 New York chats. Keeping It Green went straight to JC's when that New York chat. They want to blame me for getting it shut down and all that shit. When Logical is the one that spammed the fuck out of that chat.
Oh, was that his fault? Did they lost that?
Duh, was that his fault? Duh. Is that his fault? Duh. Hey, JT, turn your camera on and do 10 push-ups. Let me see you do
Billy.
I want to see you do 10 push-ups.
Billy, I want to see you not repeat yourself.
I want to see you do 10 push-ups. Seriously.
Well, that's not going to happen, Billy. You know that.
Makes you a punk.
Is that what it does?
Yeah, it makes you a punk.
Okay.
Makes you a lazy motherfucker. You can't even do 10 push-ups. That's lazy.
I can do more than 10, but I'm not doing them for you.
Yeah, you fucking do more than my ass. You're in these chats 24 hours a day, every fucking day.
How would you know, Billy?
I leave for 8 hours and come back, and there you are still.
Billy, you know people leave and come back? Did you know that?
And not you. You're fucking
would-
constantly. You got that fucker turned on constantly. You're always looking for someone to bicker with.
Bicker.
Yeah.
No, I just thought I'd pay you a visit. Just thought I'd pay you a little visit. Clearly, you don't want my company here, so
What do you mean? You've been my company for. Well, I've been live for 1 hour and 23. How long ago did you come up here?
Maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, you've been here longer than that now. You've
That's
been
a
here
thing.
longer. Yeah, you've been here longer than 10 minutes.
Well, you know what? It's been fun, Billy, but I'm gonna have to take a rain check.
All I can say is come back when you can stay longer.
Okay, Billy.
So what are you setting up your super PAC?
True, my man. I like my,
Back to the news.
I like my life. I like my life a lot. You know, it's just that, you know, you got politicians and people out in public seeing my, you know, my point of view and stuff like that. Even my
Now I want a beer.
where he said, "Stop saying there's no way in hell you'll do it." He said, "Show people respect who got love for you and respect for you. You never know what God has planned for you." But I'm no politician. I'm certainly no aficionado. I read the news, watch the news, listen to people like yourself and others, and learn as much as
And
I
we
possibly
missed
can.
it.
I just know that, you know, my heart's in the right
He's
place
talking
in
to
terms of, you know, America
Smith.
Being its very best that it can possibly
That's
be.
him.
When I see stuff that's happening.
For all you guys, all you sports
it
fans.
kind of annoys me. It really, really does. So I want to be a person that's in the mix, capable of doing something, doing my little part to help any way that I can.
I swear that
where my
fucker smokes
mentality
pot.
lies. But with the contract that I signed, Mark, the money that I'm
I don't
making,
blame you.
I stand to make, I sincerely doubt I'm giving that up, sir. I can tell you.
There's Smith on my side in my family,
I don't know what
my
the
mother's
hell I
side.
do. Maybe carry your seat.
That's where the English comes from.
We figure it out. With your knowledge and your honesty, trust me, we figure something out.
Let me ask you this. You're moderate. You've said that from the day I met you. You said, look, I'm a moderate. I'm not this or that. I just look at things and try and use my common sense. But they don't allow moderates in the Democrat Party. Look what they're doing to Fetterman right now. And I don't think they're doing it because he's unhealthy, because he just doesn't go along with the team. I mean, it'd be pretty tough, wouldn't it, to be a
They got a lot of
moderate
birds
Democrat
out
Party
front.
today?
Wicked.
Without question, I have no doubts about that. But here's what makes me uncomfortable. Who the hell says that these folks that would be against moderates get to dictate what the vast majority of American citizens may want, whether it's a centrist or center left? I mean, think about it. This is one of the things that I've applauded about the GOP and the Republicans, specifically since Trump came onto the scene. And I've articulated this.
That's why I was
on
giggling.
several occasions. You look at the left, the delegates process that they put you through on the left. One could argue that Bernie Sanders could have won the nomination.
That is funny.
Democratic nomination in 2016. They can make a lesser argument for it in 2020. But along
Yeah, I was
the way,
diplomatic.
The party said, no, it's Hillary's turn. No, it's Biden's turn. And I can make a legitimate argument.
I got something to
that
say
the
about it
last
when this is
person
over with.
that the people, at least on the left and center left, chose was Barack Obama. Outside of that, the party chose him. What you have to applaud about the right is that the people speak. They say bump that. Oh, DeSantis. Oh, Nikki Haley. Oh, Ramaswamy or somebody else. Or Kasich or anybody else. I'm thinking, Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz in 2016, who you supported at least 4 times. Yeah. The right, the constituents on the right said, damn that. We don't care what you say. We want him, as in Trump. And they said, that's who we want. That's who we're going to have. They didn't let the party pick their candidate. They picked the candidate for the party. And that's not happening on the left. Last time I checked, speaking strictly about that portion, that element, it seems to me like the right is replicating what America is supposed to be more so than the left in that regard. And I have a real problem with that. So when I think about somebody saying what they say, oh, Steve, you're a moderate, you're a centrist, you know, they'll never support you. I said, who said I want this support? Who says I need it? The fact is, whether it's me or somebody else, and certainly I'm not thinking it's going to be me, my point is, damn all of that. I'm sick and tired of these folks running the country the way that they do, and picking candidates for us and not listening to the American people and trying to bully us into listening to them.
The problem is breaking up this cabal. You know, it's based in Washington, D.C. These people love their power. They got their money. They make the rules. You got this guy, Hogue. Now, look, I'm not a Hogue fan. He says, look, we got to run some people against these other guys. They're out to destroy this guy.
Something in my eye.
There's no room, as you just point out, there's no room for competition of ideas. There's no room even for aggressive debate. The fix is in. So the problem is when you have an iron-fisted party. Look, I don't care if it's a Democrat party. I don't care if it's the Republican style. I don't care if it's a communist party. The problem is it's difficult to break that up from without they control the rules.
I totally agree with you. I'm not refuting that one iota. But when you talk about Hogue, and I don't know much about him, Mark, I've heard some things, but I'm not going to repeat them because I don't know, and I don't know how true or accurate they may be. But clearly, you have a cabal out there that's out to get him, no doubt about it. It's a little bit different dealing with the likes of me, because unlike them, you know, I have a voice. I have multiple platforms.
You have a following.
I have recognition. I have a following. I have name recognition. And if you want to make some noise,
Stephen A. Smith.
Well, then I'm perfectly capable of turning it around and making some noise to come at you. They think they want that. They think they want that heat. I would advise they be careful what they wish for if they came my way with that nonsense. Because all I would be trying to do is get America to be about what it's supposed to be about. I remember just today on my podcast, Stephen A. Smith Show on YouTube and iHeartRadio, I'm talking about Marco Rubio. You got Senator Van Hollen, you know, coming after him. And I'm like, well, he does work for the president. He's under that administration, which won the election. And the prism of history, whether it's, you know, it's recent history, whether it's the immediate future or beyond, it will tell us what's right and what's wrong. But to engage in condemnation of this magnitude over a former colleague of yours in the Senate and suddenly act like he's betrayed you. Well, wait a minute. You were a Democrat. He was a Republican. He wasn't thinking like you to begin with. That's number one. Number two, he's now a member of the administration. And in terms of our national intelligence and national security, combined with being the Secretary of State, he's one of the most powerful people in the world. It's different than him just being a senator now. And on top of it all, he has a boss. You know, he is a subordinate of Donald Trump. And if Donald Trump wants to do something differently than what you would do, last time I checked, he won the election. If you don't like it, maybe you should win elections. So let's see. I mean, some things are more simplistic than folks try to make it out to be. Now, of course, things are far more in depth from a realistic perspective as we dig deeper into certain issues and stuff, and I understand that. But last time I checked, if the other party wins, what your job is supposed to be about, it's supposed to be about saying, okay, how can I work?
Any Stephen A. Smith fans in the chat? Are you hockey fans?
And need, because I'm elected to serve them.
Baseball
And
fans.
we hear people saying, well, I'm on Capitol Hill to make sure that I oppose everything.
Yeah, go Yankees.
Now, in fairness, Mitch McConnell wasn't right when he did that to Barack Obama when he uttered the words. Well, my goal is to make him a one-term president. But I'm saying it's not good on either side. Let's
All right.
speak against that stuff. Let's stop it.
We're going to come right back with Stephen A. Smith. I've got the big question for Stephen A. Smith. Big question. Not going to tip him off. We'll be right back. My friends, you've worked hard your whole life. You've paid your taxes, raised your families, played by the rules. But now you're looking around and wondering, what happened to the country I love? Here's the good news. You're not alone. Millions of patriotic Americans over 50 feel exactly the same way. And they're taking a stand. Taking a stand to bring fairness back, to root out waste and fraud, and proudly standing for our Judeo-Christian values. But you can't do it alone. That's where the Association of Mature American Citizens come in. AMAC is the senior organization that actually aligns with your values, faith, freedom, and common sense. Just $16 a year. Just $16 a year? Wow. You'll join a nationwide movement, and you'll get a subscription to the AMAC magazine, The Best of the Best, plus access to money-saving discounts and benefits on things you already use and need. Join now at amac.us/Levin. That's AMAC.us/LEVIN. You've done your part for this country. Now let the Association of Mature American Citizens do their part for you.
In Montgomery County, on the inner loop of the Beltway, it's slow from Connecticut Avenue to Kenilworth Avenue in Prince George's County. Also, in Prince George's County, inner loop is stop and go in Largo between Central Avenue and Ritchie Marlborough Road. Now, on the outer loop of the Beltway in Lanham, stop and go from 450 to the Greenbelt Mark Metro Station exit. Back into Montgomery County, the outer loop of the Beltway is slow from River Road to the GW Parkway. And on 95 northbound in Laurel, jammed up.
I'm in Vegas.
And the Patuxent River Bridge. And now from
with my 2 accounts.
Overcast tonight, scattered showers, mid-50s. Tomorrow, cloudy, scattered showers and storms, mid-60s.
Actor Michael Rosenbaum knows some of the most talented people in the business.
Here, getting ready to do this podcast. I texted Star Trek. That's a supernatural impulse if you're here for Jay Moore and you found the right place. You always had a large personality, the nicest way anybody's ever put it. You always warn people out. In Twilight, Ashley Green.
We were just like, no one's going to see this. This is not going to be.
Oh, I just nipped my fucking
Don't
lip.
forget that Inside of You podcast. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Today's students are smart with great thinkers and innovators. But right now, millions of kids don't have the supplies they need. Donor Shoes is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. Learn more at donorshoes.org.
SweetDeals.com lets you spend less and have more.
Cardinal.
Save at least 50% on extraordinary restaurant, product, and entertainment deals. Plus, amazing vacation packages. Live large and save money while doing it. Go to SweetDeals.com today and start saving.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with all service members and their families. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Hey, I'm Reba McIntyre. In life, you'll hear a lot of people tell you that you can do anything you want. I'm here to tell you that's true. Since I was a little girl, I dreamed of becoming a successful singer and entertainer. It took a lot of hard work, dedication, and perseverance to find my success, but it was worth it. I never gave up on my dreams. Remember, you can never have a dream come true until you've had a dream. This message is brought to you by
Hi, I'm Jacob McMurray, professional race car driver here with cab driver at Harvey. Professional cab driver. Sorry, professional cab driver at Harvey. Drinking responsibly is knowing your limits. If you are over yours, ask for online party to get you home safely. To learn more about drinking responsibly, go to beforeyoudrink.org. So, think I could take your number 26 Crown Royal Racing off for a spin? Did you get out of there?
Be a champion. Drink responsibly. This message has been brought to you by the Century Council.
A Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Hypertension or high blood pressure is often referred to as the silent killer. That's because of the significant negative impact it can have on your health, even before you know you have the condition. Case in point,
It's sucking so funny.
statistics show that more than 3/4 of 120 million Americans who have
Jinx and Jinx touched hole.
under control. First things first, you should know what your blood pressure is. And you can do this right now. Sitting flat on the floor, legs uncrossed, put the cuff at heart level.
I'm in Vegas posting with Jinx and Jinx touch hole. One's Will Durant, the other one's JT. He has one of them blocked. Well, he blocked spam. He still sees it though. I almost could take a break and come back tomorrow morning.
Making sense of your world. Greatly appreciated. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. I love listening to you. Making sense of the news. Chris Planet, weekdays 9 to noon on 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Mark the 10, the thunder on the right. Call in now. 877-381-3811.
Well, we're back, America, with our buddy Stephen A. Smith. Stephen, let me ask you something. As I sit here during the break thinking about this, what is it about us? I think we have a similar personality in some respects. That is, we want to debate, we want to engage, challenging, interesting. And if you attack me personally and lie about me, that's it. It's no holds barred.
Yeah.
And we get very passionate about it. What is that about us?
Because we know at our heart and at our core, we try to be honest and decent. We just have our beliefs. If you have a problem with what I've said, say that. If you think I'm wrong about what I said, say that. What does that have to do about my character? Especially if you don't know me. Why are you speaking about me that way? Clearly, there's an ulterior motive or an agenda. And if you have one of those, then you ain't about honesty and realness and being genuine and authentic and decent. You're just trying to hurt me. And when that happens, all right, we're playing the hurt game.
Time is it?
So let's see who can hurt who.
Oh, fuck, it's
Let's
early.
get it on.
That's very well said.
That's how we're like.
Yeah.
Logic goes spamming away with like 10 robots.
Did the Eagles? Yeah. I'm a UFC and football fanatic. I can't help it.
Yep.
Did the Eagles improve their position? Did the Commanders improve their position? I mean, who's looking good to you? I'm not going to ask you, stupid, who's going to win the Super Bowl. You don't know right now. But who's looking good to you?
Right. I think the Philadelphia Eagles, even though they lost pieces, I think they have the best executive in the business right now in Howie Roseman, who knows what he's doing. So I think you have to put them at the top of the heap. I think the Detroit Lions is a team that you can't ignore. Remember when they lost in the playoffs last year? Keep in mind that they had 13 dudes on injured reserve on the
Unbelievable.
side of the ball.
Yeah.
That you don't expect something like that to happen. We can't ignore the Washington Commanders because this kid, Jaden Daniels, is something special to behold.
Amen.
And so those are names that come out on the NFC. I know Brock Purdy just got his money from San Francisco, but I think they're retooling. We'll see how good they're going to be. On the AFC side, you can never dismiss Patrick Mahomes because he's the greatest in the game. So Kansas City is there. Josh Allen is an absolute stud, and Buffalo is going to be there. I think you have no choice but to pay attention to the Baltimore Ravens because they're arguably the best team in the NFL. There's just that Patrick Mahomes continues to stand in everybody's way. So those 6 teams really stand out. You have to pay attention on the outside to a Cincinnati that kept their team intact. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins with elite wideouts and a great quarterback like him. That can't be ignored. We'll wait and see. Houston's good, but not ready yet. C.J. Stroud is a stud, but you need more. But I would tell you the top 6 teams would be Kansas City, Baltimore, and Buffalo, not necessarily in that order out of the AFC, and Philadelphia, Detroit, and in all likelihood, the Washington Commanders. I know we should put the Green Bay Packers in there, but I'm not sold on them come postseason time. So my top 6 teams would be the teams that I gave you.
What's going on with Pittsburgh Steelers? They even have a quarterback yet? I have to admit I haven't been following it, but what the hell's going on?
No quarterback. Well, they can't find a quarterback. The quarterback room may be one of the worst when they were worst in the game. Aaron Rodgers hasn't made a decision as to whether or not he wants to come there. They lost Justin Fields to the Jets. They lost Russell Wilson to the Giants. Then you turn around thereafter and you bring back Mason Rudolph, who's a career reserve, Skylar Thompson, who's lucky to be a reserve. And so the combination of all of that means you're devoid of a starting quarterback in a division that has both Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow as star quarterbacks for their respective teams in Baltimore and Cincinnati. That's the Pittsburgh Steelers problem, which is why they haven't won a playoff game since 2016. And they've lost, they've lost like in the wild card round, 6 times over that span.
But they have a very good coach, don't they?
They have a damn good coach, but I don't care who you are. If you don't have a quarterback, you're not going to win.
But how does a team get?
You're not winning without a quarterback.
How does a team get to the point? They know they need a quarterback every year for the rest of the time. How does a team get to the point where they literally don't have a quarterback? I mean, there's nobody even to practice with.
Well, there you are, Wigan. You're talking about your daughter now in the chat.
Quarterbacks that can play the position.
Well, you know what I
They're
mean.
not very good compared to the competition. And so it's hard to find guys that are really, really good. Keep this in mind. The Jacksonville Jaguars paid Trevor Lawrence $55 million. Trevor Lawrence won a national championship at Clemson, lost the national championship game. He's really, really good, right? Comes to the pros, playoff game, his long playoff game. He came back from a 27-0 halftime deficit and came back and beat the Los Angeles Chargers in the playoffs. That was about 3 years ago. The last 2 years or so, he's stunk up. So people are looking at it and they're saying, what the hell has happened? And there's plenty of teams that wish they could have a quarterback, okay? Which is why I was going ballistic when the Steelers didn't draft Shedeur Sanders. Because I'm like, you need a quarterback. You can speculate all you want to about how good he was going to be. All I know is that he went from being perceived and projected to being a top 2 or 3 quarterback, projected to go in the first round, to falling all the way to the 5th round and being 100th overall pick. You got to be kidding me. Something's wrong with that picture.
But listen, I was thinking about that.
That's the problem.
Let me ask you about this.
183rd, actually. But
maybe they didn't want the drama with Dion and all the rest. Is that possible?
that is entirely possible. My point is, if you have a quarterback, I'm all for it. If you don't have a quarterback,
you take what you can get. Yeah.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yeah.
You need a quarterback. Yeah. And if you don't have one, you don't pass up with him. Now, they ultimately drafted Will Howard in the 6th round out of Ohio State, who's not considered to be on Shedeur Sanders' level. But I'm just looking at them and saying, you got to be kidding me, because when I'm thinking about Deion Sanders, you can talk about a headache all you want to because of his bravado, his involvement, the fact that he'd have something to say, if his son is mistreated. I understand all of those things are legitimate concerns. Let's not act like Deion Sanders hasn't been a treasure and a tribute to the game of football. He's the greatest cornerback to have ever lived. He's arguably the greatest athlete we have ever witnessed. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champion. He was an All-American. His football acumen and his brilliance was never to be denied. And this is his son, who is a quarterback on a team that had the Heisman Trophy winner in Travis Hunter. And by the way, this kid, who was deemed relatively undersized, sat around and took 92 sacks over 2 years in his career at Colorado and still won games his last year there. You got to give credit where credit is due. And here's my thing, Mark. I get tired of people telling, oh, it's cancer in the locker room, or it's this, or it's that. First of all, they never said that about the kid. But here's the biggest thing. If the kid is problematic but talented, you're the coach. Tell us your job. What are you doing? You eat ice cream? Coach him. You're supposed to coach him. You're supposed to discipline him. You're supposed to reel him in. You're supposed to humble them. You're supposed to do all of these things. Why do things have to be so perfect for a coach to do their job?
Starlings, they're crazy.
To have the talent to work with. Your job is to work with that talent, whatever the talent may be. And I just get annoyed when I hear stuff like that, because people are acting like, oh, things have to be ideal in order for somebody to be brought into a locker room and coach. Guess what? There have been plenty of locker rooms rife with a bunch of headaches. That's what Tylenol and Motrin and all of that is for. Get over it and figure it out when you don't have the pieces necessary to supplant that individual.
Let me ask you this, and this isn't intended to be provocative. I'm just curious. Are you getting along with LeBron James these days? Not really. What's going on there now?
No, we don't like each other.
Okay.
We don't like
I
each
never
other.
liked him anyway. You know, I never liked him. I'm not going to pile on. It's just I don't like his attitude. I don't like his attitude. I never have.
He is a great family man. Yeah. He is a great basketball player. Phenomenal. Future Hall of Famer. 4-time champion. 4-time league MVP. One of the greatest we have ever seen, and a phenomenal ambassador for the game of basketball. I have benefited from the greatness of LeBron James like so many other people. But along the way, situations and confrontations take place because of people's personal communication with one another. And sometimes things go awry. And that's what happened with us. I don't like him. He doesn't like me. But I'm not going to use that as an excuse to dismiss or disrespect or denigrate him. How I feel about him is not how everybody should feel about him. I know how he's treated me. I know why I don't like him. But that doesn't mean he did that to anybody else. I can only speak for myself, and I will not speak against him.
All right. Very good. I don't need headlines here. I'm not looking for that. I was just curious.
Okay.
Now I'm going to ask you a dumb question because I didn't keep up with the. Where did Sanders wind up?
Oh, he rounded up with the Cleveland Browns.
I'm sorry.
The Cleveland Browns drafted him. The Cleveland Browns drafted him, and now he's going to be quarterbacking in Cleveland. And could you imagine me?
They all do that.
How I'm going to lose my damn mind if
They all do it.
Goes to Cleveland, and he's better than anything the Steelers have. I'm going to lose.
Well, it won't be hard. No
because
offense.
It was right. It won't be hard, but it was right there for them to take. And if they messed it, if that man plays lights out, and dare I say, he's competing with a Lamar Jackson and a Joe Burrow, and he is considered a pretty damn good quarterback that's ascending in the National Football League, that would be the biggest miss by the Pittsburgh Steelers in many years, and I will not be happy about it.
Last question, my brother. Dallas, your favorite team. Why do they never? What? Tell me about Dallas. I have my own opinion. They're not going anywhere, are they?
They got a chance. Listen, they acquired George Pickens from the Pittsburgh Steelers as a wide receiver to pair with CeeDee Lamb. So they have offensive weapons, and Dak Prescott wasn't healthy last year, and he is healthy this year. And in fairness to him, when he is healthy, he is an individual that goes out there and wins games in the regular season. Doesn't win them in the playoffs, but he certainly wins them in the regular season. I think their defense has holes, and they need some help. But I think offensively, they should be potent. I still think, however, they'll be battling for third place within the NFC East behind the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. And I think that as much as I love my buddy Jerry Jones, because I do have a lot of love for him, I think that the problem with him is that he wants to do things his way, which isn't always the right way. And I think he's compromised the success of the Dallas Cowboys on many, many occasions by allowing his own ego to get in the way. He would refute that, of course. He believes that what he is doing is right, but I would point the old Bill Parcells saying from years ago, you are what your record says you are. And the Dallas Cowboys have not been to an NFC championship game, let alone a Super Bowl, let alone having won a Super Bowl title in 30 years.
Good God, I didn't know that.
There's nothing you can say about that. Since 1995, they have not won. They have not been to an NFC championship game. In Dak Prescott is entering his 10th year as the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. He has a grand total of 2 playoff wins.
All right, I got 1 minute. I got to get this in. This push. I mean, they really put that up to a vote. I mean, seriously, I'm glad it lost, but just get big linemen and they can do it too.
It's not a great football play, but the bottom line is this. People that are whining and moaning about it is because they haven't had success in it.
Right.
Philadelphia Eagles have. Find a way to get it. Stop whining.
Why is my fucking screen doing that?
How to stop it, or consider the fact that there's little to nothing that you keep about it and get the hell over it. That's the bottom
Somebody
line.
trying to use malware against me.
Situation where you can outlaw stuff you can't stop. I mean, that's ridiculous to me. All right.
Exactly.
Stephen A., it's always a great pleasure. If people want to find you, they find you on ESPN, the best show on ESPN, your podcast.
Candy.
Basically anywhere.
Smith Show on YouTube.
That was nougat.
That's right. And I
Just turn the TV and the
fruit.
radio on, and there you are, man.
Like gummy bears.
Coming in a matter of a week or so. I'll call you and let you know.
I would love to. Take care of yourself. Be safe out there.
You do say. All right, buddy. God bless.
God bless. I love that guy. And don't call me and tell me why I shouldn't. It is what it is. That doesn't just show up one day. It builds little by little. Credit cards, car loans, medical bills. You know, suddenly you're juggling payments. You hate to go to the mailbox. All these bills are coming in. You feel stuck. You really get sick to your stomach. You don't know what to do. But there's good news. You're not stuck. You just need a reset. We need people who are honest and have integrity.
Last call, and then I'm going. I got to put away clean dishes and pick up from dinner and wash them dishes.
You use your home's equity. They roll the high interest debt into one simple, affordable payment. So if you pay 20, 25,
And kind of like half raining out right now.
roll that into a rate that's 5.5%, 6.5%.
I got a couple things on the porch I got to bring in the house.
And you can deduct up to $10,000 in interest. They're saving homeowners an average of $800 a month. Folks, that's enormous. That's like $10,000 a year. Just real solutions that get you back in control. Imagine breathing again, sleeping at night, getting the stress off your shoulders. That's what they'll do for you.
I want to thank JT for finally having the courage and come up here and talk to me one-on-one like men should do.
There's no upfront fees.
Appreciate that.
To find out how much you can save. So all it takes is a call. They don't have
Doesn't want to give me his age.
Take back your peace of mind with American Financing.
It's like, am I old enough to be his grandfather or what? I don't know.
American Financing today, here's the number. 888-900-1828. 888-900-1828. 888-900-1828. Or visit AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
We'll be right back.
Hey, another successful night. JT, come up on my panel. With sense. Hey. I could be lying. I might go ahead and let it play and just go lay down and take a nap for a minute. I don't care what happens in the side chat. There's nothing they can do about that. If I'm not watching and somebody's threatening death on somebody in my side chat, that's not on me. You're pretty ignorant if you do that.
75 years of freedom. This is 75 years of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. Join us at NBA75.org.
The Bigger Pockets Podcast Network is your home for real estate investing.
So why real estate? We keep saying it, but the housing market is shifting more and more towards a buyer's market every week.
Guess what, folks? You can still buy real estate today.
You can buy a quality rental property today
And build an investment portfolio that cash flows monthly.
These are my favorite markets for cash flow.
And build wealth long term.
The world has changed, but the best way to invest in real estate hasn't.
Search for the Bigger Pockets Real Estate Show anywhere you listen to your podcasts.
Hey, I'm Reba McIntyre. In life, you'll hear a lot of people tell you that you can do anything you want. I'm here to tell you that's true. Since I was a little girl, I dreamed of becoming a successful singer and entertainer. It took a lot of hard work, dedication, and perseverance to find my success, and it was worth it. I never gave up on my dreams. Remember, you can never have a dream come true until you've had a dream.
Blah-de-blah.
This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
When your business information
Learning.
is more inconsistent across the internet, search engines won't find you, and customers won't either. Help ensure customers see you and not your competitors. Boost your findability. CumulusBoost.com. CUMULUS Boost.com.
No Contest Wrestling. O'Shea Jackson Jr. and TJ Jefferson with the biggest names in the game.
50 Cent is in the house, everybody. NXT North American Champion, baby. How you feeling right now, man? I feel great.
Jay Uso. What's going on, man? A lot of heavy days, but it's okay, man. It's part of the game. You know who they are, though. You know who I am. TJ, can you tell them where to find us? I mean, why else are we here? You can always find us No Contest Wrestling. Check us out.
The No Contest Wrestling Podcast, part of the Rich Eisen Podcast Network. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Every time I feel my baby kick, I sing. You don't understand. I never sing. I'm not good at singing. I'm the only person I know who's been booed off a karaoke stage.
Yeah, I turned my furnace on. It's chilly outside. Raining. Cold and wet.
With a captive audience of one. She never will. We know how it feels. We're the March of Dimes. Find out how we can help you have a healthier baby at marchofdimesbaby.org.
We all know Americans are still recovering from years of surging prices. Now, some in Congress want to make cuts to Medicaid, a program that provides critical health care to 72 million struggling Americans, including veterans, people with disabilities, kids, and your friends and neighbors. 40% of American births are covered by Medicaid, and Medicaid covers healthcare costs for a third of children with cancer. Working families rely on this program. Some studies show it has 70
Cardinal again.
support, and that nearly 9 in 10 Americans oppose Medicaid cuts. Donald Trump campaigned on a promise to protect Medicaid. As president, he's still promising to love and cherish Medicaid. Did you know that about 12 million Medicaid families live in rural communities? Many of these people voted for President Trump, but they didn't vote for this.
If Congress cuts Medicaid, a lot of rural hospitals could close, and a lot of rural families will be hurt. No matter how you look at it, cutting Medicaid just doesn't make sense. Stand with President Trump and tell Congress not to cut Medicaid. Paid for by the Coalition to Strengthen America's Healthcare.
Making sense of your world.
I agree with everything you're saying.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
I'm really grateful for what's going on.
Making sense of the news. WMAL. Making sense of world events. Because those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Don't forget, you can hear this show from sea to shining sea, morning, noon, and night, 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365. I'm telling you, we have our great affiliates with our great Sirius Satellite. We've got our great app, Mark Levin Show app, iHeartRadio app. We've got live streaming. We've got even a lot more than that. We've got our own podcast. You can go to Mark Levin Show on your favorite platform. Just type it in, Mark Levin Show. There we are. None of this costs money, by the way, these other platforms here. And also we have our own YouTube channel. All you do is you go to YouTube and search Mark Levin Show. It's that simple. So that's YouTube. It's the podcast platform, live streaming, our apps, Sirius Satellite, our affiliates. Have I missed something, Mr. Producer? Oh, yes. Opening the window and yelling at the top of my lungs. That's it. We're all set. Our country's policies towards the Middle East have never been more important. The time period never more filled with potential, but also fraught with peril. As maps are modified and lines are redrawn, the nation of Israel stands naturally at the center of the ever-changing landscape. Many believe that Israel's enemies are America's enemies, many including me. Christians United for Israel, one of America's largest pro-Israel organizations, with 11 million active members, is leading the charge to help keep Americans on Israel's side. Unfortunately, because of countries like Qatar and others, this is a necessary pushback. And I'm so proud to be a member of Christians United for Israel. My family is, and our dear friend, Pastor Hagee, his dear family. We're all just so proud to be associated with them and friends with them. But here's the deal. Next month, join thousands of pro-Israel Americans, Christians, Jews, and everybody else at the 20th Annual Christians United for Israel Washington Summit, June 29th through July 1st. June 29th through July 1st. And while you're there, you'll learn from leading Mideast experts. You can make your voice heard. Folks, jump in the middle of this. Both feet. Don't be a bystander to history. Register for the 20th Annual CUFI Washington Summit today. I look forward to meeting each and every one of you. Go to CUFI.org, CUFI.org. Use promo code LEVIN25, LEVIN25. Be part of this unbelievable event. Again, CUFI, CUFI.org, promo code LEVIN25, LEVIN25. Our power hour is next. The foot's on the gas pedal. Stick with us. I'll be right back.
Making sense of your world. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Another hour of Levin.
This is no conspiracy theory. This is a fact. Here it is. Mark Levin.
I don't know. I got 7 people. I got 7 on my meter. I probably should just go ahead and leave the chat up. Iron a kite.
Clarity and context for a complex world.
I'm going to be far more thorough and specific than ever before.
News Talk 105.9. Making sense of the news. Making sense of your world on the go. Stream your favorite shows, get the day's top headlines, and access our podcast archives, all with the new WMAL app. This is for you. Get the WMAL app on Google Play or the Apple App Store and stay connected.
I'm Paula Pan. I help people make the smartest money decisions possible. Because let's face it, money's too important to wait.
What you'll hear is a couple money geeks sitting and talking about the stuff that we're so passionate about.
You name it, anything that's on your mind. Retirement debt, student loans, saving for college.
It's a personal finance journey. It is a wide-ranging squirrel conversation about the topic of personal finance and good financial planning. Super fun.
afford anything. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
I was choosing alcohol over my family. That's when I made the call. Now I'm finding better ways to cope.
Mental health care works when you make the call. Visit mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Imagine the hospital experience. There's a constant parade of serious doctors, countless tests, and a serious diagnosis. Scary surgeries are followed by painful recoveries. You're in the hospital for days, weeks, months. Now imagine you're a child. This is why Starlight exists. Starlight programs help kids in the hospital cope, build resilience, bolster confidence, and change their outlook. Because happiness matters. Visit starlight.org to learn more.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington. Cumulus Media Station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
They had to come back. I'm Lisa Sarah, Fox News. The judge who said Homeland Security violated his order when it deported 8 men in the U.S. illegally is now ordering the department to interview the men.
The judge ordered the plane held where it has landed. The exact location was not disclosed. He said the 8 criminal aliens on board should remain in U.S. custody and that credible fear interviews should be done within 3 days. Judge Brian Murphy in Boston said if they have credible fear about where they're headed, the men will likely have to be returned to the U.S. Murphy earlier ruled that Homeland Security violated his order when they deported the violent criminals to a third country other than their home countries. Homeland Security would not confirm the men were being deported.
It's up to 9 now.
The discussion
I'm going to stick around. Listen to the next hour.
The men's home countries were refusing to accept that.
Dishes can wait another hour. No big deal.
Members are moving forward on President Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill as conservatives are upset over the deal cut over SALT, the package of tax breaks for high-tax states.
I have
We can resolve their
a card table where the legs fold on it, and it's raining out.
president in these areas as well as
They don't make them like they used to.
As President Trump wants this bill passed, the vote could come early tomorrow morning. President Trump met for about an hour this afternoon with the president of South Africa amid claims of genocide by white South Africans.
We have thousands of stories talking about it. So we have documentaries, we have news stories.
South Africa's president.
Hey, Wiggin, I just seen your name.
Violence of both white and black, and those calling for the deaths of white farmers are in a minority political group.
Yeah.
The Archdiocese of New Orleans has agreed to pay nearly
There's a saying on boomers, submarines, the old ones. It's 4 knots to nowhere. You're just punching punching holes in the ocean. You're just out there doing 4 knots and just waiting to launch something. Kaboom. Holy fuck. We could destroy the whole perimeter of the Mediterranean Sea. It only take half a dozen. If you live in Israel, get out of the way. Might affect you, even though it's way up in Syria or way up in Iran or some part of Turkey. Yeah.
birthday.
7 News' Tom Rowsky. An arrest of a 31-year-old man following the peeping Tom incident at Montgomery Hall. In mid-April, Montgomery County police officers responded to the report of a peeper. The investigation showed Javier Castro Morales was using his cell phone to record or take pictures of a woman trying on clothing in a store's fitting room. When the victim realized what was happening, Morales left the store. He was taken into custody last week, but later released on bond. And some 45 million Americans, including more than 1 million locals, are expected to travel at least 50 miles over the long Memorial Day weekend.
Regina Cooper Ali of AAA tells us that while Memorial Day prices in general are up, gas prices in our area are down a bit.
$3.11 a gallon, 40 cents less than they were this
That's all muscle, Dwayne.
More than 90% of holiday travelers
There ain't no fucking fat there, Dwayne.
hitting the road before noon.
This gut ain't fat.
On Saturday, May 24th, looking at the worst.
You couldn't win no fist fight. You're all mouth.
WMAL News Time.
Dwayne, come up, turn your camera on, do 10 push-ups. You might scare me then. Might think twice about taking a swing at you.
Montgomery County, Maryland Beltway inner loop is stop and go between Georgia Avenue and the 95 interchange. On the inner loop of the Beltway, Camp Springs, there is a crash. 2 left lanes are blocked after Branch Avenue. Now into Virginia on the Beltway, inner loop in Tysons. It's jammed up between 123 and the 270 spur in Montgomery County. The outer loop of the Beltway in Maryville is slow from 66 to the River River Turnpike.
Hey, Wiggin, my dad died at the age of 63. I watched my father die of cancer. I was there when he was tripping out on morphine. He was tripping. Morphine make you hallucinate like a motherfucker. And it did him.
For just $29 a month, you can give hope to these children. Become a monthly
Colon cancer, and it already got into his liver. Had asbestos on his lungs. He was drawing money for that. So my mother was left well off. Yeah.
Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflush.com.
Anyways, if fucking Yankees don't win World Series this year, I'm going to stop rooting for them. I'm going to start rooting for Buffalo for football. There's too many Buffalo fans where I live. Seriously. Most of them are women.
He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflush.com. They'll even let you try it risk.
Well, Wiggin, you probably already know, just not long ago, JT was up here on my panel. She's trying. I got something in my eyeball. Eyelash, I think. Parker? Fucking wind was blowing. Fucking blew that dirt right in my face.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Where the hell did the program go? Our number 877-381-3811. 877-381-3811. You know, I was doing some thinking today. Some days I just need to give it a rest.
Do I need to roll a joint?
I was thinking about what people say
I don't know.
about our past foreign policy. And they relentlessly attack it. It's time for a new way. You know, Marx always talked about a new way, starting from a clean slate. A new way. The forever wars. And there is some of that. Don't get me wrong. Or the interventionism. And there is some of that. Don't get me wrong. But you know, we did a lot of fighting, wars and battles, that were absolutely 100% legitimate. And they should not just be dismissed or treated as if it's just kind of a throwaway line. We defeated the Soviet Union. That took decades. We defeated the Soviet Union. It broke into its disparate parts. The captive nations were no longer captive. The reason why the Eastern Europeans are so pro-American is because of what Reagan wound up doing, freeing them from the iron fist of the Soviet Union. There is no.
I was a part of that, by the way. I'm a veteran of the Cold War.
Communist Party anymore. Or the Polish Communist Party. Lech Walesa, John Paul II, and Thatcher, and Reagan. There is no Thatcher in Britain today. With all due respect, there is no John Paul II. I'm not even speaking to the current Pope, but the last Pope. There's no Helmut Kohl in Germany. Not now. And of course, with the great Ronald Reagan. And so I get a little sick and tired of people who barely have crossed the line between prepubescent and being able to grow a beard. Those would be the guys. We don't want the women to grow beards, but who knows anymore. But in any event, you get my point. The Korean War was a righteous effort by the United States. To prevent communist China from taking the entire Korean Peninsula. Now we have some relatively low IQ, insignificant voices out there who will say, what does that have to do with us? That's right. What does anything have to do with us? They applaud Qatar, they applaud Saudi Arabia, but Korea, what are we doing in Korea? And so they didn't live, and nor did they care to learn about what was taking place before they were born or before they learned how to read. It really is a tragedy. But the defeat of the Soviet Union was a massive event. It would be like defeating communist China today without firing a bullet. It was a massive event. And it took a lot of guts to do what Reagan did. It took a lot of guts. And so, no, don't throw me in with the crowd that says if you don't agree with them, you're like a warmonger and all. They don't get to define our history. They don't get to rewrite the greatness of America. They talk out of both sides of their big, useless mouths about how they're America first when they keep trashing our country. They keep trashing our country. They keep trashing our military and the men who fought. You tell the men who fought in Korea that was a war that never should have been fought. Tell them that. So like I said, we're getting together this summer with one of the great organizations, Christians United for Israel, KUFA, led by truly one of the great religious leaders in our country, Pastor John Hagee. I said religious leaders, not just Christian leaders, one of the greatest religious leaders. And you come to that event.
Camel blend.
Ask all those people there. Ask them.
That's a Camel cigarette
if
right
they
there.
think Iran should get a bomb. Ask them if they think Iran should be able to retain centrifuges. See, those centrifuges need to be removed and destroyed. Ask them that, what they think. Ask them if Israel should have a ceasefire with Hamas. Ask them. See what they say. Ask them if they think the Jews are going to drag us into a war with Iran when Iran's trying to put a nuclear warhead on an intercontinental ballistic missile. These people who have these platforms make no sense. They have no logic. They're incoherent. You can have legitimate disagreements with this war or that war, this battle or that battle, but you sound like an ideological moron when you go on about with your platitudes and your sloganeering. Stupid. That's why none of them will debate me. None of them. None of them. Instead, they go to their sloganeering. Crazy. But I would say the defeat of the Soviet Union was a big damn deal. Maybe not to them because they don't understand what was taking place. Nobody thought the Soviet Union would collapse. Nobody thought the Soviet Union would be destroyed. We're talking about now the, what are we calling it? The golden, what is it? The protection, the Golden Dome. With all due respect, the president said that the Israelis got the technology from us. Actually, they perfected the technology, and we'd be wise to borrow some of theirs. Not that we can't improve upon it. I mean, we're a massive country with a massive economy. They are not. And they have to defend against different types of attacks than we do. Our Golden Dome has to be much bigger, much more flexible, much more capable because we have two oceans. We're a big country. I like the way people say we're protected by two oceans. You know what two oceans also provide? The enemy with what? The nuclear submarines with the ability to come up to our coasts. Right, Mr. Producer? Don't get me wrong. I think two oceans is a great thing. I'm just saying, but modern technology is modern technology, and that's the way things are moving. The Israelis, their laser technology is far advanced beyond ours. And they share these things with us if we want them. And we do want them, and we need them. But it was Reagan who embraced that idea. The Strategic Defense Initiative, which they called Star Wars, was the Democrats, was the media. It did everything they could to sabotage the entire effort. Budget fights. The government was shut down on more than one occasion because Reagan insisted on some funding for his program. And back then, it was an idea. We didn't have the science to do it. And he said we need to develop it. But the left's always impatient. They always want to steal your money, redistribute it to their friends, and then, of course, commit heinous acts of fraud and then tell you not to worry about it. They produce nothing except bloat, red tape, and bureaucracy. So that was a pretty good idea, don't you think, in the past? Strategic Defense Initiative? Yeah, I think that was a good idea.
Goes good with that grape Gatorade I just drank.
Yeah, I think that was a good idea, too. Communism was literally wiped out of almost the entire hemisphere, our hemisphere. There was Cuba.
Where's ODV at?
Wasn't
where the fuck are you, Oscar?
Had been addressed.
You owe me 5 minutes, Oscar.
And so freedom was on the move in Central and South America, as a matter of fact. Freedom was on the move in Central and South America. The communist forces in Angola had been defeated, in other parts of Africa, not completely, of course. You had Rhodesia, which became Zimbabwe, and so forth. We weren't interventionists, you understand. But the Monroe Doctrine was strong. The communist Chinese were not in our hemisphere. The Russians were certainly not in our hemisphere, let alone the Iranians. Carter brought about the Iranian regime. Carter did. So all of our foreign policy wasn't as these people.
Yeah, that's an Arafat. They didn't know who he was.
The isolationists that they demand
Dumb fuck.
Today, the Soviet Union would still be with us, except they control almost all of Africa, most of the Middle East, and of course all of Europe. At least the 15 captive nations would still be captive. If we had listened to the isolationists, the fifth column isolationists in our country today, the Soviet Union would still exist, more powerful than ever. All those free countries would not be free. They wouldn't be our allies. You'd still have East Germany. You'd still have all these other communist regimes and so forth. Much of Africa would be under the control of the Soviet Union. As I said, much of the Middle East would be under the control of the Soviet Union because they would have had a free ride, a free reign, I should say. They would have had a free reign. Because the ideology is what? If it doesn't directly involve us, of course, all this stuff involves us, but if it doesn't directly involve us, what does it have to do with us? What does it have to do with us? Everything. You know, just like people get power hungry when they have a taste of power, like your HOA. You got schmucks in the HOA. Well, I can tell that guy what paint to use. I can tell that guy if his fence is okay. I can tell that guy to wash his mailbox. Hey, man, hey, this is powerful. Now imagine running one of these countries and you have no checks and balances. You think you're going to stop if the United States is a paper tiger? You know, we had this view in 1972 when George McGovern ran for president. He was at that time considered a radical. Now he's kind of mainstream Democrat. But these isolationists basically embrace they embrace Pat Buchanan's domestic policies, Huey Long's delivery, and George McGovern's foreign policy. The isolationists, not Trump, the isolationists. There's nothing new about what they spew. Nothing. It was insane then, and it's insane now. But I reject the idea that the world starts today. I reject the idea that everything we did in the past was so lousy, it all has to be reinvented. I reject the idea that we don't care about a damn thing unless it actually hits one of our borders, and even then we're not sure. I reject it all. You want to know why? It's imbecilic. That's why. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you gotta hear about the secret 2-minute trick for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside.
Yellow toe fungus.
To get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflush.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe, and then it spread and got really bad. His toes hurt a mess. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflush.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflush.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free, so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflush.com.
We are the American Cancer Society.
It's raining out.
Against breast cancer. Are you ready to join the #1 breast
Little bit.
cancer movement in the country? Sign up today at makingstrideswalk.org.
A better life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta. According to government data, about 80% of the U.S. workforce works sedentary jobs. And those people, according to a new study out of the University of South Florida, face a significantly higher...
I wish you could smell that.
The lead researcher said this.
And taste it.
Is as close
It's
as
good
a
pot.
bullet that we have for employee productivity and well-being.
Helps with the indigestion.
The way job design has changed endangers sleep health. Most people, of course,
Besides that, I have a prescription for it.
careers. So if you're someone who's having trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, what can you do to get some quality shut-eye? Start by incorporating more activity throughout the
Yeah.
day. That's really important. Short bursts of exercise.
God wanted anything better for himself, he would have kept it for
Little
himself.
things as well, like taking the stairs instead of the elevator. That can help. And at night, really important, ditch the devices an hour before bed. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
Every time I feel my baby kick, I sing. You don't understand. I never sing. I'm not good at singing. I'm the only person I know who's been booed on.
Should I point it out?
But that was before I was pregnant.
Guys peeking on Vegas chat. That rum is in there bragging. He got in the Venice Beach chat and got timed out or banned or whatever because of his flag. Have you ever seen such a disgusting thing as a British fucking waving a Palestinian flag and not in the right way? What difference does it make if Palestine is, if it was called Palestine and back in BC, AC, AD, sorry. Drunk on one beer. Wow, CB. Sebastian's really hooked on you. Where the fuck is Patrick Rowe at?
That we can have a good life. This is true for you. To learn more and get a free pocket constitution, visit constitutionminute.com. This Constitution Minute was furnished by Hillsdale College.
Making sense of your world.
Oh, do I ask? What's the deal with Tom and Terry B? Cork soaker. My foot hurts.
deep dive again, wouldn't it? Come on now. Come on, we can do this. Mr. Producer likes this chapter the best. He said chapter 5 on rights. Now, he doesn't know what's in each chapter fully, just what I'm sharing with you, but I can understand why. As I pointed out in the first hour, I write clearly the basis for America's founding and the ideology of the American Marxists are utterly incompatible. Indeed, this is at the heart.
Yeah, he's got a wrench over there now.
Power, or more accurately, the power struggle that exists today and has for 100 years or more.
Him,
that is,
Andy 504.
Irreconcilable worldview.
They're clinging on to fucking that guy.
Competing for power. Now, it goes on. I'm just hoping this really is interesting. If not,
something ain't right, Andy.
Maybe I'm just kind of a goofball.
Andy, something just isn't right. You failed, Andy. You tried.
When I write these things down, I go through it.
Should have known better.
That's right. There is no
Patrick doesn't know better, that's for sure.
And I'll just say, because otherwise liberty is just theoretical. And what does it mean? There is no liberty without rights, and rights precede government. There is no liberty without rights, and rights precede government. However, the societal effectuation.
Not a guitarist. Why would I buy a guitar? I can't even tune the fucker.
Are determined by power. Negative or positive.
Start playing
power.
guitar at my age? I guess I could.
Out of societies, nations are established.
I could probably get a
Some
couple
imposed,
chords down. It's all
some with the
fucking most
consent
of
of
them
the people,
do.
Some more spontaneous than others.
Learn a couple chords
Some
and they
more
just
gradual than
fucking
others,
keep repeating
some
that.
civil, some
Life
private,
is
etc.
repetitious,
Not all
redundant.
societies establish governments, but all societies establish a hierarchy.
I didn't throw you away.
In one form.
You were never
or
mine to
another,
throw away.
and in one way.
I didn't know who
or
you
another.
were until I opened my chat up.
In the civil society.
Never seen your name before.
Sorry, my eyesight.
More than
In
likely
the
had me
civil
blocked.
society, the purpose is to secure and protect both the unalienable rights of each individual and those of the community of individuals who voluntarily come together.
You guys
for that
tried to
purpose.
play me, and it didn't work. And now look at
Just
you.
laws are adopted by the consent of the people, meaning a majority of the society.
I'm going to turn this down. Hey, you want me to talk? I'll talk. There you are, Andy. Click on my link. Come on up, boy. You're welcome to come up if you want. Yeah, kind of dead right now.
And I know that. But there's a great deal of Marx thinking, unraveling philosophy in this book. And I start with the premise that power is the most
What the
under-discussed
fuck are you talking about?
word, the most under-discussed idea when it comes to
The fuck is this shit?
liberty and tyranny. And that has to change. So we live under liberty and not tyranny. Again, we talk around it, what kind of government, but we don't answer the question, how does this come to be? Or how do we come to lose it? And so this book is a very different book than anything I've ever written. It's a very different book than anything I believe anybody else has ever written. And I think that's why once you get it.
No, I don't love JC.
I think you're going to have difficulty putting it down.
Why would I love
So
JC?
Pre-order for Father's Day. Amazon.
Why would I love somebody that doesn't love me? You need to rephrase that question.
1031 exchangers. Market volatility is off the charts. Are you ready?
And he's here on Charlie's behalf because Charlie's been doing that shit. They fucking, they're being influenced by log liquor.
America High Yield DSTs with cash flow starting at 7.5%. Icon targets the much undersupplied lower.
Do I love JC?
Icon America DSTs.
I'd love to do something to her.
Utah, Florida, Ohio, New York, and more. In place, cash flow is 7.5% with 10-year interest-only loans at 4.25%.
I would never give the image of me being in bed with that bitch. I tell you that right now.
580-1031. Since 2007, Icon has paid out over $75 million in distributions to investors. Visit icon1031.com or call 800-580-1031. 800-580-1031.
Investments in all place. Results vary. Consult with your financial and tax professionals.
We are the American Cancer Society making strides against breast cancer. Are you ready to join the #1 breast cancer movement in the country?
At this point in my life, I'm like, do I want another beer? You know, listening to LD up on a piano, if it's not the F word, it's like. It's I was like, I like. Like, I'll agree that Andy 504, you look pretty fucking old. I bet you're like 40 and you look like you're 60.
75 years of freedom. This is 75 years of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. Join us at NBA75.org.
Today's students are smart.
See, now you guys could be on a clandestine fucking mission and all that shit. Because Acid Drip is a fucking moron. That fucking guy.
And beyond. Learn more at donorschoose.org.
Hi, I'm Jamie McMurray, professional race car driver.
That fucker begs for attention.
Professional cab driver. Sorry, professional cab driver.
That fucker's got something negative to say about everybody.
Ask Artie or someone like Artie to get you home safely. To learn more about drinking responsibly, .org. So, you think I could take your number 26 Crown Royal Race Star for a spin? Did you get out of there?
Be a champion. Drink responsibly. This message has been brought to you by the
Actor Michael Rosenbaum, he knows some of the most talented people in the business.
That's right, JT. JT, you've been had. JT has been had. Wiggin did it the other night when I left the chat and he stayed up there. And Chinchilla fucking cucked the shit right out of him.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
Well, he's going to get the attention he deserves. Nah, he deserves attention. He got it just a little while ago. He came up on my panel. So, you know, I've been live 2 hours, 35 minutes. Wouldn't be hard to go look for it in that little period of time. It was maybe an hour and a half ago, if that. I don't know, maybe an hour ago, hour and 20 minutes ago. It wasn't that long ago.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news. What would you give for a child you love? To make their wish come true, to help them fight a critical illness. Just imagine what you do. See, wishes are so powerful. You can make them real. And give a child back their childhood.
Someone's trying to get my attention. An old timer.
Because when we come together, hope brings joy and shine. Wishes need stars like you. Visit wish.org. Making sense of the headlines, making sense of your world. WMAL's Vince Collins.
Hey, Yee. What's going on is JT's been had. Yeah. He needs to get up on the table and sing You're the Tops. Because he's been had.
toys, and other loose or soft items. It reduces the risk of SIDS. SIDS? You know, sudden infant death syndrome. Yes, I need to start.
Yeah, he was posting your daughter's name again in Vegas chat. And when he left here, I watched him do it. Yeah, you're a fucktard, JT. You want to come back up? You're welcome to come back up. Here, I'll fucking post a link. All right, right there. Right there it is, JT. You feel froggy. Come on up. I won't let anybody attack you. You're gonna fucking deal with me. Come on. You're welcome to come back up. Just do this like men. You're trying to say that she had a stream and all that shit. Bullshit. And if she did, nobody knew about it. JT has great big nigger lips. My sisters used to call me that when I was a fucking kid growing up. I got big lips.
Thank you. And thank you for getting in touch with us.
Not kidding. JC and Jill, my oldest sister didn't call me that, but the fucking two J's did. Not kidding, Patrick. Jill is only a year older than I am. That's it, a year older. Then my brother Scott, and then JC's a little older, and then I have the oldest is, I'm not going to say her name. I do. I have a sister named JC, spelled Jacey. JC, yeah.
Before Congress relating to his number.
That's part the only reason why I hung on to it, because using that name, it's not really a common name. It is now. My sister JC was born in 57. I was born in 61, so she's not quite 5 years older than I am.
And particular one that they're looking at now is it deserves a real deep dive. Yes. I think what they're investigating is whether
I have the best character witness there is out here, and she calls herself Daughter of Truth. She might be a crazy Indian. You put some fire water in her, but so what?
And that apparently is what they're looking at. And I think that this report that was issued in
Wiggin, you're probably lucky I'm not your neighbor. I'd be knocking you out and taking your girlfriend.
A report which basically exonerated himself, which is ridiculous when you think about it. You can't investigate yourself and then conclude that you're innocent. But leaving that aside, this report was so flawed. And actually, I think a bigger issue that needs to be uncovered is the issue of neglect. And that's one of the contentions that I maintain and think should be more fully explored. And this nursing home report of 2020, to me, shows evidence of neglect of the whole issue of what was going on in the nursing homes. And that, to me, is criminal.
By the way, to think back on this, Doctor, do you remember when they were praising him and his fantastic job he was doing and his unbelievable press conference? Again, it's like this Biden thing that I'll get into with you in a minute. It's completely phony. It's the complete opposite of everything that they were saying, right?
Oh, it really is. And there's a real, I think, a very deep-seated personality disorder at play here, and a huge ego. And getting up there and grandstanding when in fact, I have a very, very detailed timeline on everything that happened in those early months. And I can tell you for a fact that he was clueless about what was going on in the nursing homes for many
I can't
months.
keep up with Trump. The fucker's everywhere.
The Commissioner of Health, completely clueless because they neglected the nursing homes. Their focus was on the hospitals, and I'm not saying that was an inappropriate focus.
Wiggin, I was married to a
for the venue in which
half Indian from the Mohawk Reservation up here. St. Regis Indian Reservation stretches into Canada.
That to me is I think what people are failing to appreciate.
They made news some time ago. Had a big beef with the state. Oh yeah.
Criminal, and that goes
Hey, some crazy motherfuckers. You don't want to fuck with them people.
Well, let's get into that issue. Joe Biden.
They're definitely hill people.
And
you don't want to fuck with them.
I mean, I've been saying for
You want to be nice to these people.
But the idea that his wife didn't say, Joe, that's enough already. We're going to go home. We're going to take care of each other and so forth. To me, that's the compassionate thing. But the trappings of power, I mean, there's a lot of people around him, staff, the Democrats, the media. But I would expect my wife to do that with me, and I think she would do that. I don't. There's no question in my mind.
No, most of the time I went to a barber because I had, regulation in the Navy is 1/4 inch taper around the ears and the back of the neck. What is it? 2 inches in length and 4 inches in bulk. Right? You couldn't have really long hair. Didn't have to look like a Marine. So basically, if I shaved all my beard off and left my mustache, I'd look like I'm still in the Navy. I need a trim right now. It's on my ears. Yeah, I've been seeing that news. We knew that's coming anyways. Them motherfuckers are spinning centrifuges, and they want to be able to fucking launch a missile into us and kill us. So I think it's time to grab them right by the fucking scruff of the neck and kick their ass. And take these motherfuckers out. Motherfuckers are trying to kill us. They are killing us. I just got it cut, Andy. You see that? I had the hair. It was getting long. I can't keep my hair long. I can't. If I were working, you wouldn't see this on my face. I couldn't wear it in the kitchen. No. I'm pretty impressive dressed with an apron on, fucking knife in one hand, honing steel in the other, and a cutting board sitting in front of me. Not sure who Levin is talking to here, and I think it just went off.
And others basically usurp his power and the authority of his office for their own benefit. And the people that were supposed to protect him, that I think had a professional obligation to do that, didn't. And these are, I believe, this is evidence of potential evidence of neglect and when that of abuse. I'm sorry, elder abuse. And when that hit me, I thought, well, what do you do when you suspect elder abuse? And one should report it. So I reported it to the Delaware Department of Health, to the Adult Protective Services, and naming him, President Biden, as a victim, and the
I'm not dyeing my hair.
Lady,
Get out of here.
Kevin O'Connor, and his chief of staff as a potential perpetrator.
You might as well call yourself JT, yee skirt, because that's who you are.
With the health authorities in Wilmington, Delaware, and those
You fucking desperate little boy. Wow.
elder abusers, correct?
As potential perpetrators. And what this is, Mark, and people should understand it.
I don't like to be presumptuous, but I get a feeling that JT comes from a single mom family, single parent. And if he does know his dad probably neglected him a lot. I truly believe that. You know, when a man fathers a child, a man's responsible for that child. Pretty much the same way I nailed fucking Will Durant a long time ago. That motherfucker had got several DUIs. That motherfucker's probably been in the slammer. He ain't got no driver's license. They won't. He can't drive legally. That motherfucker probably can't leave the county where he lives down in Florida because they're pretty strict about that shit. So that means he's been forced to go to drinking, driving classes and the whole fucking 9 yards. Right, Will Durant? What account am I using right now? I mean, oh yeah. There he is, Jinx. There's Jinx. And then there's Jinx touch hole. That's better than any fucking video you can make. And that's not what he looks like. I have the other picture where he has a blue vest on over a dress shirt. Right? He looks like he's a little Jewish boy from fucking Manhattan somewhere. That's not what he looks like. He's not really very big in stature or whatever. He fucking lanky, fucking limp-wristed motherfucker. Will Durant couldn't carry 20 pounds, 20 feet.
It's illegal in all 50 states. No permits, no background checks. And here's the best part. It ships directly to your home. Here's even a better part. It works. You pull the trigger and it fires. Help be prepared to defend yourself and loved ones without the many complexities of a homicide. Made in America with over 80% of its components US sourced and hand assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana, over 500,000. Over 500,000 have been sold. Over 500,000 of the CLs, Byrna CLs, have been sold. So go to Byrna.com to check it out. I hope you'll grab your pistol, your Byrna pistol. That's Byrna, BYRNA.com. Byrna.com. You need to be listening. But again, visit BYRNA, Byrna.com for details. We'll be right back.
I can do a sit-up. I just gotta have it's nice to have somebody to hold your feet down.
We are the American Cancer Society making strides against breast cancer. Are you ready to
Besides that, I'm 63 years old. I can do the push-ups.
sign up today at makingstrideswalk.org.
You just want me to do sit-ups so you can look at my crotch. Right, Gotti? Gotti's here to guzzle Gaydon's goo-goo. Battlefield Hayden.
United States Soccer Federation will be launching the all-new U.S. Soccer podcast. Episodes will go beyond the field, players, coaches, and legends to bring you honest conversations.
63 going on 13.
This is where soccer will come to life. The U.S. Soccer podcast.
I want to be 13 again. Somebody I'd like to visit. We all live on Hayden Submarine, Hayden Submarine, Hayden Submarine. We all live on Hayden Submarine.
I have to take insulin shots every single day. The type that will stop at nothing.
There's this thing called periscope depth.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
No more complications.
So you get the mass and the antennas out of the water.
Support Joe's life-changing research, and one day you'll say, I helped turn type 1 into type 9. Join us.
Oh, there's the stinking thinking. Yee. Why see me spam my chat?
in the hospital for days.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to solve Gotti's problem right now.
This is why Starlight exists. Starlight programs help kids in the hospital.
Gotti, you got me blocked on that one account. I'm gonna solve that problem right now.
Visit starlight.org to learn more.
Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, millions of kids don't have the supplies they need. Your Shoes is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers.
Yeah, you're right.
And beyond. Learn more at
It's hard being a sailor.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with all service members and their families.
Oh, good. I got my studio thing up.
Nightly scroll with Haley Carrier. It is Haley Carrier. I'm excited to be here. There's a lot to scroll through on X, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Truth Social. Love seeing you all in the chat before the show. I tried to jump in just a few minutes before to say hello. I love the chat interaction. Thank you for helping. Love all my homies that I get to scroll with. If you want to scroll with me, you can find me. Just search that up, and I will do that. We gotta spread the word far and wide. Scroll with Haley Carrier. Follow and listen on your
Yeah, we can see how much God likes what I'm about to do.
You heard the news. Newsmax just went public on the New York Stock Exchange and listed on the big board. Millions of Americans like
God, he is God.
News revolution. Reuters Institute says Newsmax is one of the top 12 news brands in America. Even President Trump says it's terrific. 40 million Americans go to Newsmax, and its audience grew 50% since the same time last year. Millions really are making the switch to Newsmax.
I'm doing all this with one finger because I'm sitting there with a fucking lighter in my hand and a fucking joint. Otherwise, fucking 3 minutes ago, I'd fucking already accomplished what I'm trying to do.
For informational purposes only, and shall not be intended to or shall not constitute any offer to buy or sell securities, nor shall there be any sale of securities in any jurisdiction in which such offer, solicitation, or sale would be unlawful. Making sense of your world. Star Radio is where I get all of my information. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news. Washington's best way to wake up.
Yeah, you had that other fucker blocked. You fucking go ahead and block it now, you fucker. Now that's funny.
I've been talking about Blaze TV. I think
There's your harem, Gotti. Charles, did you know Gotti was running a gay harem?
so many great hosts like Glenn Beck and on the list goes. And
this is what he's saying.
Different cutting edge things now on Blaze. We do investigative journalism.
Gotti, you gonna post?
Really quite cool. We break it first on our network. We do documentaries, and of course, there's me, myself, and I, all three of us. And I always look forward to doing my Blaze show. It's quite different.
Yeah. I guess pretty much Mark Levin is over right now.
And despite the expansion of our programming, expansion of our network,
and fucking keep delaying it, whatever's fucking going on there.
Very, very important conservative voices. Our pricing for an annual subscription hasn't changed.
What time is it?
Which is really quite
it's getting late.
remarkable. Absolutely quite remarkable.
I need some water.
This is something
I drank all
I
that.
think you've been looking for.
And a beer.
You haven't participated yet.
Drink a
This is
whole
something
freaking Gatorade.
that you're really going to enjoy.
Drink a beer.
24/7, 365 days a year.
16 ouncer.
It's something that's going to comfort you. It's something that's going to bring you some relief. It's something that's going to bring you information that you're not going to
That's
get
what I
anywhere
figured.
else.
There's
It
Tom.
does fantastic hosts. All with different personalities and takes, but all who believe in America and love America. There's nothing else like it anywhere. And so when I do my Blaze television shows, they're completely different from everything else that I do. I want you to check it out. I want you to take a look. We've talked about this. I have for many, many years.
Glenn Beck used to be on at 9 o'clock on the radio station out of where I live. I don't know now, but that was a long time ago. That was before he went on Fox.
Real journalism and opinion, you'll know the difference between the two. This is independent journalism. Powerful documentaries. Creators who refuse to be clients. People who share your values, your belief system, your principles. Watch Blaze TV on your terms, anytime, any place, on any device. It's cutting edge technology. It's incredibly easy to access. And it all starts at just $8 a month. $8 a month. Go to levintv.com/Levin. Use code Levin. We're very creative and thoughtful. That is, go to Levin TV, Levin TV.
Jinx.
Go to Levin TV/Levin, Levin, and use code Levin, Levin. You'll save $20 right away on your annual subscription. $20 right up front. That's levintv.com/Levin, promo code Levin. Just put Levin in there a lot.
Supposed to be an X, right? Instead of a K.
Join us today. You're going to love it. You really are going to love it. We love doing it for you.
Oh, let's see what the computer says.
The subscription is really de minimis compared to all the broadcasting that you're going to get. It's a lot less than cable, I can tell you that. All right. Let us go into the calls here. Hold on, Mr. Producer. I'm working on it. Here we are. Got it. All right, here we go. Let's go to Dale, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, XM Satellite. Dale, go right ahead, please. Yeah.
It's an incredible honor to speak with you, Mr. Levin.
Thank you, buddy. Call me Mark. Thank you.
Okay, Mark. I hope everybody remembers the very first thing that Cuomo did before he took all of those COVID-infected people into the nursing homes is he got his own mother out.
That's
you remember
right.
that?
Yeah. That's right. I do remember that.
Yep.
Yeah.
He sentenced those people to death by they're weak in the immune systems and everything. He knew
You're gonna like this. This is funny.
Your book, just disgusting. And I'm glad he's being investigated for allegations of misleading testimony on Capitol Hill. I am concerned that he'll be the next mayor because people vote for a name they're familiar with. But the people in New York need to understand you may vote for a name you're familiar with, but look at what you're getting. In the time of crisis, he was a disaster. Good call, brother. Dale, South Dakota. We salute our armed forces, police officers, firefighters, emergency personnel, our truckers, the men and women in Ukraine, the men and women in Israel. We have your back. And you, the American people, God bless each and every one of you. Thank God for you. And I'll see you right here tomorrow. Check out Amazon.com on Power. Grab your copy tonight.
Making sense of your world.
Thank you for your clear insight.
News Talk.
That's funny. You want me to read that, or did you get it? Yeah. I'll pretend I'm in second grade teaching you fucking English. To move swiftly or jerkily, or make a quick turn in order to dodge or elude. Boy, did I pick the right word to describe you, JT, and you fucking Will Durant. One word. Oh, attaboy. Attaboy. No, there ain't nobody watching me outside. My neighbors know what I do. He was laughing about it across the street. He might be watching right now for all I know. Did somebody want to come up? Oh, fuck. That's help me spell backwards. And play, please. That's not what you really look like, though, Will. That other picture, you got, yeah, you don't look like that right there. It's like Wiggins said about Wolf, all right? Using enhancement on the camera and all that shit and filters. I'm doing something technical you guys wouldn't understand. Look at this fucking thing. You know what? It's on another account. I don't know which one, because a couple of my phones gave way and they just overheated too many times. That's what kills your phones when you use phones, because you gotta keep them charged. They get warm. They do get warm. Laptops even worse. I unplugged this fucker, boy. I said sucks the juice, the fan inside it's running like crazy, and it's just a laptop. But it's a Hewlett Packard. It's a good one. It's fast. It works. My screen shouldn't be jumping. Like I don't know if that's someone using malware to try to disturb my stream, or there's fucking gremlins. You people at Google, I'll fucking write an article. So, I don't know if that's his real. He looks like Chef Boyardee. Well, I'm drinking Miller beer. I had it sitting right here. You could wish. That would kill it. I had a pretty good buzz on when I did that. All I did is lift my hand, touch that fucking glass, that fucking chew. Cost me $500. Yeah, it's still raining out. Yeah, I didn't want my card table getting wet. No, I won't be spilling another martini. I'm at my best though when I have a bunch of gin in me. Cheese and caramel popcorn. I usually pick the cheese out first. So side chat's open, guys. I'm feeling good. Popcorn time. It's not my motorcycle. Something about needing a new fuel pump and line, whatever. So I don't have a motorcycle. What are you talking about? I ruin you guys' night every fucking day and night. Otherwise, certain people would ignore me. I'm picking all the cheese popcorn out first. Caramel. Yeah, he says it's common on them. What is it? It's like a 2006 Yamaha Roadliner. Big, heavy. It's the fucking biggest V twin that they make. It's big. It's fucking heavy bike. And it has power. That fucker moves, boy. And he's got a newborn baby at home right now. My nephew, Scott. So he's not in jail. Dwayne out there fucking posting their shit, getting me to respond. No nephew of mine is in jail. Scotty's never been in jail. He's come close a couple times. So which is it? Am I in love with JC or am I in love with Wolfster? If you were me, who would you pick? Popcorn kernel. Try not to make a mess. Checking my batteries. Yeah, there's about probably only one person could ruin my night. That's if my ex-wife showed up. That ain't gonna happen. I probably wouldn't even recognize her voice these days. Neighbor's cat just ran down my porch. Cheese popcorn. Cat's after something. He was working on it and he broke it. He was working on it and he broke the fucking thing. Fucking tinker. Whoops, sorry about that. I almost have all the cheese popcorn I ate. Nothing but caramel left. Oh, there's one. You think Mary Bernie likes caramel corn? Mm. I'll eat a couple pieces and then I'll put it up. Yep. Nothing but caramel corn left. Oh, there's one. There's one. Oh. Yeah, Wobble. Bubble. Oh, he's saying $600 for a part. The housing, whatever it was. And he broke a bolt or a stud or something, taking the tank off, doing something to it. And ran good until I started smelling gas. I don't know anything about it. $22,000 for a base model, a nice bike. You're gonna pay $30,000 for a road bike, and you're gonna pay $35,000 for a 3-wheeler. Those are nice, I think. Be all right to drive. I'd be putting studded tires on the fucker driving in the wintertime. Well, at least JT made his appearance. Pretty much told him the way it is. He's been had twice. All right, I'll see everybody on the flip side. And I figured JT didn't want to come back up. I gotta go clean my kitchen. I want to thank everybody for showing up, including you, JT. I appreciate it. You did the right thing.